We'll get this party started. This is going to be great. Hello, everybody. Sorry about the delay. We're going to talk about crazy bitches. Now, I got to warn you. What should I call you? Better biatches? BB? Can I call you BB?
Yeah, so I actually put the logo as BB because everyone calls me BB.
Okay, I'll call you BB. Yeah, I want to start by saying just because we're going to have this conversation, you're going to get flooded with a whole bunch of crazy bitches. I'm trying to scare you away from future discussions.
Oh, you are?
You are. You're going to get flooded by all the crazy bitches on my list because they're doing this huge reputation destruction campaign right now.
That's okay.
So some of the things you might hear are I want to kill black babies. Yeah. I have murdered people in the past. I'm racist. I have internalized misogyny, allegedly. What else? Oh, I harass women online. I'm trying to think of what else I've heard. Oh, I'm a narcissist, all the psychological mumbo jumbo. What else? Oh, I lie about women when I call out their bullshit. I mean, you've seen my content. Where did you first come across me?
I saw you on Tony Bruno's stream, actually, and you guys were talking about the 21 convention, which I didn't know what it was at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the first time I saw you.
Okay, I remember seeing you in the chat. I was a little more honed in on that other crazy bitch, Ashley, who was in the chat. We had a little bit of a previous. I went over to her channel one night and made a couple comments, and she completely reacted like a crazy bitch. I was like, "Oh, great, another crazy bitch." Apparently, she's a Whoremaxer groupie.
She is. She's just a simp hunter, is really what she is. So she's simp hunted Whoremaxer.
Okay. What's a simp hunter?
A simp. So a simp is someone that is. How do I say this? Basically, like a woman can walk all over, manipulate, and he just doesn't get it.
Right.
The simp hunter or huntress per se would be the person that will over sexualize herself, manipulate, lie, cry to like manipulate him into doing whatever she wants or favoring.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I would just put that under the crazy bitch umbrella, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's terms for it now.
Yeah. I don't like all these group identities. I don't like these all the psychology shit. I feel like it's been over what's a good word? It's been picked apart, and the crazy bitch hair has been split so many damn ways that I mean, it just to me, crazy bitcher is crazy bitchery. So I didn't get any crazy bitch vibes from you though. I got more like honest bitch vibes.
Yeah.
Or maybe you've been a crazy bitch in the past because we are all capable of being crazy bitches.
I'm more of a crazy bitch in the past. I was more of an angry bitch. I wasn't crazy, didn't want to hurt people, but like
right.
I was hurt, and so if I had, especially like if I was hurt by someone, it just triggered something where I would just be stupid angry, and it would, especially if you hurt me and that unhealed version of me, it would be so hard for me to let go of that hurt. And then my hurt was more important, and then all of that other stuff comes into it. I didn't do anything to like retaliate and like really hurt someone back, but then I would cry victim for like ever. So, yeah.
I'm dealing with a whole group of those crazy bitches right now.
Sorry.
So
on behalf of all previous crazy bitches, we're
okay. So personal development you seem to be into. How did you become like what happened? How did you break out of your crazy bitch bubble?
Which time? Because there's been a month.
I don't know.
So like a short version,
Yeah.
therapy since I was in 15, wanted to be a
Okay.
therapist, switched it because I realized a lot of those people are really unhealed and hiding in there too.
Oh yeah, big time.
Always spot a good therapist with someone that gives you solution rather than just wanting to talk everything through.
Right.
Um, I was also part of like a self-help group, still am. What else? Hypnotherapy, past life regression, meditation stuff, that whole spiritual stuff, childhood healing, like wound healing, and then recently black pill aligned because we kind of like woke. I feel like that was like the missing piece to like kind of really snap me out. So like
Hmm.
all that other stuff was like help me heal and come into like my femininity and not be a victim and all that stuff. And then black pill kind of like was like, oh, this really is reality. There is no like delusion that I can hold on to. Like like well,
Yeah.
like one aspect of it, and I talk about the work portion because we I could talk about relationships and everything, but like as a female in this space, when you really want to talk logically, how it's helped me, um, my I'm in marketing and business, right? And I'm a semi, I think I at least decently pretty girl. And I always thought, oh, because I'm a woman, I'm not taken serious. No one trusts me, all these things, right? And I get trolled all the time, so I don't care. But it's what it helped me realize was like, oh, this is the reality. So one of the things that I also did, my mom was Mexican, so she kind of was really hard on me in the sense of don't sexualize yourself to get advanced, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's still good, and I hold that value, and I don't do that. But
Yeah.
I also realize, like, wait, I am a woman. This is the reality. So just be a fly on the wall, and then attack to show off and show that I am able to do that. So it really like changed my mentality in every single aspect. Also, like I started the Better Biatches channel, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be easier for me to get more subscribers by being on bigger platforms like I went on Fresh and Fit.
Hmm.
Um, the guys can't do that. But what I can do
Right.
with my like dignity and everything or my morals is I want my people that I've been with from the beginning. We did like a review on it. It's really like even the guys that I do interviews with, if you go to my Instagram, it looks pretty, it's not super hoish, but it's kind of up there. So it's like,
It's a little thoughty. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but I tell the guys all the time, I'm like, go for it and use the freaking picture. Like, do the thirst trap, get the like clickbait. Like, it's just the
Ah,
reality.
wait. So are you saying that you are offering yourself up to be objectified to get more attention for the men?
For their channels when they're interviewing me and stuff. Hell yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you believe, as a woman, do you believe that women objectify themselves or men objectify them?
I mean, I think it's like the chicken or the egg kind of thing where it's like
Yeah.
which one came first. We
Yeah.
see throughout history women were objectified and then they objectified themselves and then it goes back and forth really, in my opinion. So I think right now we're in an era where women have objectified themselves. They have made OnlyFans super norm and all that stuff. I've
Right.
never partaken in any of it, but like
Right.
like I said, when I look at the reality of things, right? The reality is we're in a segment of YouTube. People that have YouTube channels want to monetize. They want
Mhm.
to voice their message and everything. The reality is, I have some hot slutty pictures. So the reality is, those can help with the algorithm. So go use them. Clearly, I took them and I posted them on my Instagram. They might as well be used for something. It's
Right.
like to OnlyFans or jacking off or something like.
Right. Right.
Wait, never mind.
So could a Muslim woman in a burqa being completely covered, could that woman be sexually objectified?
No, in
Okay.
my opinion,
Okay.
I don't think so. It's like a giant cloth. It's
I
covering.
know. What do you objectify?
That's the whole point of that is that
Right.
in the Muslim culture, it's sacred. A woman is sacred, and so it's not necessarily oh. And that's a I like I've read the parts, not the entire Quran, but I've read parts of the Quran to better understand it. And it's
Mhm.
really about protect thy woman, honor thy wife, and that covering thing. is for her protection in their
Right.
religion. So
Right.
you can't really objectify it. It'd be kind of weird. It's like
Right.
your imagination. Like
So
what?
wait. So wait, would you agree with the statement that women are the gatekeepers of objectification?
Women are the gatekeepers of Jeff. You're gonna have to break that down for me a little bit more.
Like, if a woman isn't naked because she was objectifying herself, she couldn't be then objectified. Like, women are the gatekeepers of sex, right? Like, a man in our society with the laws and a lot of that stuff, there's no way that he's going to have sex with a woman unless she allows it.
Right.
So I feel that's kind of similar with objectification.
Yes and no. In my personal opinion,
Mhm.
because I've also like, I'll tell you this. This is the only best example that I can give to exemplify why I said yes and no. Yes,
Mhm.
generally speaking, in our society today, women are the ones that are objectifying. They're also the ones that are saying, okay, I'm going to take off all my clothes for this photo shoot or whatever. My
Right.
Instagram, yes, I'm going to wear this risky outfit when I go out and I'm going to take a picture and document it. Those are
Right.
all us like females doing it, right?
Mhm.
But there's also another side that is the reality. So like this story is when I was 12 years old. I was a fat kid with glasses and like really like I was like maybe 9 or 10 years old. I remember going to the liquor store with my dad. I was getting ice cream. He was getting something I can't remember, and I didn't even know this was happening. My dad said this. Um, as I was getting an ice cream, this like old dude was like, I guess I didn't know, was looking at me and sexually objectifying me and really like, damn. I had no idea this was happening until I turned around and my dad was about to beat the living shit out of him. So,
Right.
and that's the aspect why I'm realistic about it and saying like yes and no. In in our society, like, but that's but here's the other aspect. That's a small percentage of men, in my opinion.
Right.
In my
Right.
opinion, I don't think any guy is like not even 50%, not even like 20%. I think it's like 10 to 15 of like even not saying little girls, saying just in general, seeing women and like, you know, damn.
Right.
But I think the majority of it from women's responsibility.
Sorry, my son's asking me a question. I don't know. Let me see it.
We're good.
Yes, it is because I can see it. Yeah, I agree. So it would be safe to say, from a probability aspect, that women objectify themselves more than men objectify them.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad we're on the same page there.
Oh.
So tell me, you said you've been kind of hiding out in this in a specific sphere the past year, and I know a lot of people do give I think a lot of people give every one of the groups a bad rap.
Yeah.
Like, I always identified with being black pilled with red stripes and blue polka dots because I'm like, there's
What the
so many different things with each of the groups and the different philosophies that I agree with. I don't wholeheartedly agree with 100% of any one group, but there's something that can be taken away from all of them. I think they're all useful in that way.
And I agree with that aspect actually. It's I think that it's funny because it's like in our society, and we understand why too, it's women have been more protected than men, generally speaking. And I
Yeah.
understand why, because we're smaller, we're weaker, all these things. But now I think we're in a day and age where it's like really, really, I think there's a lot more women today that take advantage of that than there ever has been,
Oh yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
Like I was just talking about it on the stream before. It's like I had a friend that like his son was taken away she was hitting him, but then he went to jail for hitting. It's just it's weird because I told you before, I came from the total background where my dad didn't show up, where my mom did have to hold everything down, where it's a complete opposite. However, growing up, I've heard more of men being screwed over than I have of women being screwed over. We're
Yeah.
not even cheating, just like family stuff. I see a
Right.
lot of that. And like the biggest thing that I've heard more than anything is about people are really talking about, well, doesn't that make a woman like a horrible mother if she's doing things selfishly from her own hurt as opposed to how that's impacting her child? And that's the part where I'm like, damn, that is like the best argument I've heard so far, that it's like it's not it's it hasn't been talked about, and it should have been talked about a long time ago, but we're getting to a point where now more people are recognizing it.
Oh yeah. No, in like as long as I've been alive, you're not allowed to criticize a mother. Like I know I told you I came from a crazy bitch of a mom household. Like I watched her destroy my father, my brothers and sisters' father, my stepdad, anybody that came into her life. I watched her demolish them and get away with it using the state, using, all the enablers. I call them the crazy bitch enabling programs, the welfare, all the things. It's bullshit that feminists.
I love how you call them like with the names and stuff.
Well, I mean,
Too.
I,
No
I
other way to identify it.
right, because nobody else talks about it. Nobody else actually focuses in on female accountability, which I think is a huge disservice to our entire society.
Well, especially because men are such a pivotal part. It's really been harped on that it's like the whole, like, I come from the era of like I don't need a man, and I always talk about it, and I'm always like transparent and clear and saying I was one of those women. I did say I don't need a man, I don't want a man, all these things. I 100% own it. And
Yeah,
I feel like that's why I feel like Black Pill has been such a gift to me, where it's like I've never loved or appreciated men more than I have in my entire life. It's
yeah,
it it's weird, not weird, but it's because did all the work to like be more feminine and stuff, but to be able to like actually look at men and be like, God damn, that's amazing. God damn, you bring so much to the table, and really acknowledge that.
right.
It's even with my dad. I told you before that like my dad wasn't really in the picture growing up, and there was a big portion where with his drinking.
Yeah,
Didn't he stopped drinking? He still hasn't gotten his life fully together, but when he came back, I had already done the healing. When he came back, he tried to apologize, and I was like, thank you, I really appreciate that. Was the first time he ever actually apologized, and like
yeah,
and then he kept trying to apologize, and I was like, Dad, I don't live there. I want to see
right.
where we're going moving forward. And now my relationship with my dad is like the one that I've always wanted. And when that happened, fuck, I always get like sappy and shit because I can't
Yeah,
help.
yeah,
I always dreamed of having this relationship with my dad, and now that I have it, I think differently. I
yeah,
dress differently. I
right.
choose differently. I like appreciate differently. Like
Yeah,
I did an Airbnb, and when he came back, I was in the middle of doing that. My like fingernails were all fucked up and shit, laying down floors,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
he stayed, and my dad was there for like 3 weeks straight working. He's like limping and still going because he's like seeing how my anxiety was working, and um he just wouldn't. I kept telling him like, you need to stop, like I need you to sit and relax, and he's like, and he wouldn't listen. And I never had that from him. And then so to
Right.
have that, and always seeing like all these guys that I've met as an adult do that for their kids, and having that, it's like that's why I always talk about like they do bring so much to the table, because now I'm a different, that's like a huge portion of me being a different female and appreciating men. It's like I had that thing that's why I'm trying to say like men are such an important pivotal aspect in the family dynamic, just as important as women.
Yeah,
Good, like the
yeah,
nurturing kind, and then they bring the stability where we have emotions. It's
right, right. So when did you first hear about feminism? I mean, because you live in California,
and then the whole time, like,
so your whole life.
yeah,
Okay.
it's
I
so.
just I just learned about it like 2 years ago. I didn't
Ooh.
know it was a real thing. Yeah, no. I mean, I heard bits and pieces of like a feminist talking about, all the bullshit that they puppet. And I would see and I'd be like, what a dumb bitch. And I'd go about my business because I'm like, nobody would actually listen to these crazy bitches, right? No, 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 no. Come to find out, dude, people have been listening to them since the 60s.
Yeah, and so like I'm realistic with it. Like, yeah, there was a time where it was needed when like women couldn't vote per se, my opinion.
Mm, mm-hmm.
But I mean, other than that, like the court systems, family marriage, divorce, all of that has already been for like as far as I remember for the women, especially in
Yeah.
California. So
Yeah.
like, it's I mean, other than that voting aspect, I don't really see the necessity about like the whole feminism. And like there's like probably one or two other aspects, but I don't really like I'll say this, I'll put it this way. There's maybe three pivotal points where feminism was a positive thing. The rest of it is turned into toxic femininity, which is what I call it. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm like, because the guys can't really get away with, I mean, maybe online, but not in real life. They can't really say, like, that's toxic ass femininity when it
Right.
is. When a girl's like
Right.
to cry and calling you like all sorts of names when you haven't done anything wrong to get everybody rallied around you,
Right.
you call it something else, you know? I don't know.
What
Hard-
what is
It's hard for me to live in LA.
what is Okay, you gotta tell the guys because I already warned you. I already warned you that the guys that hang around here are the most harsh. Tell them what they call you.
Well, what they call me in Black Pill,
Yeah.
I'm called Grandma Monkey Lips. So like I don't know that it's gonna be really that much tougher over here. Like, it's not like they're nice to me. It's not like they're like, oh my god, a woman, welcome. Like no, they still
Right.
there's
Grandma monkey lips. I love it.
Grandma Monkey Lips.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so your channel, Better Bitches.
Yeah.
Um, I like that. Because you know what? Honest bitches are better bitches than crazy bitches. There's a value system there that I think our society has overlooked with this toxic inclusivity bullshit.
Yeah, so I saw a video the other day that said it so perfectly. It's like when we have a society that's like fighting for everything to be equal, the
Right.
reality is in a society with human beings, when you
Yep.
fight for too much equality, it goes to shit. And that's kind of where we are. It's the idea that women, and I never said this one, thank God, I never said women and men are equal. And that's
Right.
what women are legitimately thinking in their brain, that men and women are equal. And I'm like, bitch, no, they're fucking.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So you said you've done therapy since you were 15.
Yeah.
And then you did make a comment that a lot of the people in that field are crazy bitches.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I heard anyway.
That's
It's my translation.
yeah, that's
That's
what I said. I
that
like
that
to paraphrase because I paraphrase a lot too, and people are like, "That's not exactly what I said." I'm like, "That's the gist of what I said." Yeah.
yeah. Well, that's what I heard anyway.
Yeah.
My truth is important here.
Yeah.
Um
I
no,
was.
that's something that I've been focusing on, that department specifically in universities, because that's where I see is the breeding ground to producing more crazy bitches. That's where feminism gets a hold of these young girls and steers them on a terrible path in life.
Not just young girls, because I also
Yeah.
have a problem with it with men. It's
Yeah.
there's two aspects, right? So the reason I don't claim any of the pills, I don't say that I am one. I say I'm aligned. I say that I'm aware, is because it's just the same thing if I hear a man saying that he's a feminist. It's like, what do you
Right.
like? I think that's super sketchy. It's super like, what do you
Right.
want? And if it's not that you're manipulative, it's that you have your mom's boyfriend and you never spread your wings to become a man. And
Oh, the sun husbands.
it's
Yeah.
and it's a sad thing because these, like, again, that's why I talk about why men are so important, because we're in an age where, like, men are not allowed to be men. Men are told, no, you're not going to teach my son that way.
Right.
And the mothers baby them and they hinder them. So now we're in a society where we have, that's also a part of the whole men no sexual activity thing, is that it's like, it's the mother's, when a mother's feelings become so important that the boy is not able to have his own, and he doesn't become narcissistic, because that's also a repercussion of that, um, and he's not able to separate himself, he's stuck.
Right.
That's it, he's just stuck.
Right.
So
Arrested development.
yeah.
I call it developmental retardation.
Yeah, and it's also the other aspect of therapy. So I worked in that field for about almost 10 years. And
Really?
yeah, I was also a counselor for a period of time too.
So you went to university and got a degree or a certificate of some kind,
Yeah.
or what?
So my degree is in business and my minor was in psychology. Prior to
Okay.
that, I was still already going to school. There's something called a CCAP, which is the equivalency of MFT, where you're able to counsel people as long as you have an MFT that is, whatchamacallit, I forgot the term. God, it's been so long. But that you do have to have an MFT that basically signs off and, like, evaluates your work and evaluates the progress of the patient and all that stuff. And I did it
Right.
for a year and then I was done. Um, the big
Why?
the
Why
big
only here?
the big portion is because I felt like the advice that I was being given, it didn't allow for enough room for solution, and it allowed more room for feeling, as opposed to,
Right.
like, I do advocate for therapy. I think it's good to be in touch with your feelings. I don't think it's healthy or conducive to stay there. And that's the
Right.
big issue that I have with it. And especially telling men go to therapy when most of the therapists in that field just talk about feelings, also
Right.
goes to emasculation. So it's I'm not saying, I'd say like 10% of therapists are good therapists. You want to, if you do go to therapy, you want to make sure that the first session, they are giving you writing assignments. They're giving you solutions. They're giving you things to practice already. It's not just
Yeah.
let's get to know each other. You want someone that's going to be, it's going to create productivity and change.
Right.
And the problem is everybody just wants to talk about
Right.
it over and over again, and you stay there. Like,
Right. Right.
I did.
No.
I stayed there for like 5 years. I was in therapy. The first 5 years, I stayed there until I figured that part out. And I was like, fuck, assholes.
Damn grifters.
I
Yeah.
don't have a problem with drifting. Everybody's got to make money. I'm cool with it. It's the reality of shit. But when you're making it so that people stay there so you continue to make money off of it, that's what I have
Right.
a problem with.
Right. Yeah. I see the field as being overrun by predominantly feminists.
Yeah, that too.
Like the American Psychological Association
Yeah.
is.
There is one guy that I really like. I forget what his name is.
He's a
God.
guy though.
He's a guy, but he
Yeah.
actually talks about feminism being like a ploy to derail society, and that's like my. I won't get into politics because that's your channel. I'll get canceled. I
Oh
say
no, this is a free speech platform. Like I told you earlier on yours, like you have boobs, you can't be canceled. You can
oh,
talk about whatever.
you sure?
Oh yeah.
Because I go down rabbit holes.
Well, I'm just saying. If you have boobs, it's harder to get canceled. You actually have to submit to the crazy bitches in order for that to happen. So
I have to submit to the crazy bitches in order for me to get canceled.
yeah.
But if I don't submit to the crazy bitches, I don't get canceled. So I can say
Nope.
whatever.
You can say whatever you want.
What?
Yeah. I know you're a little worried. I know. I know. Well, and I noticed that from some of your videos, you're like a little scared to use your words.
You have to understand, I come from LA, born and raised. So like,
I know. I
even
know.
even me putting my channel up and saying that I speak advocating for men,
Mm.
is I haven't talked to any of my friends.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very, why am I getting so emotional today? This is really weird. It's a very like scary. I'm not like playing here. Like, I am like legitimately like scared.
Yeah.
It's not just cancel. It's like they will come to your house. They will screw with you.
Oh yeah.
They'll try and like attack your pet or your animal or your family or your loved ones. Like, it's
Right. Yeah, yeah. No, I've already had campus security and dude from the Joint Terrorism Task Force show up at my house because some crazy bitches
okay.
decided to lie.
That's the other thing. What,
Yeah.
like, the manosphere has been tainted as this like misogynistic, we hate women platform when that's not what it is. And I've never
Right.
met so many men that help each other just fucking be men. Like,
Right. Right.
it's nuts. It's
Well,
all they are is just calling women for what the crazy bitches that they are, and then
you
it's
know.
like, sorry, I like
No, you're absolutely right. You're
it's
absolutely right.
okay. So I forgot the therapist guy's name, but it's like a famous guy, and he has a daughter, and he really talks about how feminism was like. He also says the same thing. There were a few key points that were for the women and beneficial for them that were needed. Absolutely.
See,
However,
I don't even believe that. I believe that it was started out as a radical lesbian man hating cult, the same man hating cult that you see today. Celine, you're not welcome here. Piss off.
so the thing that so I still believe that there were a couple, just a couple, right? But
Well,
they
the
were
small ones.
they were exploited
Yeah.
in order to create this huge movement that's still doing its thing today in
Yeah.
order for us to make men weaker so that with society, if we needed to have an uprise when our government became too big, we would not have strong men. That's
Right.
what I fundamentally believe. That's why I advocate for it, because I'm in a place where I'm in LA and a guy can't even like kiss me if it's a great date. He'll ask, "May I? Can I? Is it okay if?" And that's not his fault. That's like, I'm scared to say what I believe as a woman. I can't sit here and be like, "Oh, he's not man enough." Like, and that's what a lot of women do. So it's like this whole like hypocrisy of like, I'm equal to you, respect me as a woman, me too, feminist movement, super, we're all equal. But then when the bathrooms get changed to like equality and transgender are allowed, they're up for.
Oh
And then
yeah. Yeah,
like
yeah.
when like we're talking about like going on dates, all these same women are like, he's such a pussy for not kissing me. And it's like, bitch, you're fucking crazy. Like, I'd be scared too. I'm scared. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm a
So
lot bitch.
so are you afraid of crazy bitches?
I'm not afraid of crazy bitches. I'm afraid of them hurting the people that I love.
So unpack that for me because I
Um, I have a little sister. I have a daughter
Mhm.
that I love. I have a dad that I love.
Yeah.
I These crazy people, like, I don't know, the internet part doesn't scare me at all.
Right.
I'm good here.
Yeah.
In life, like in back home, what, like, they're so fucking crazy that you don't, I can't even like I wow, like I really damn it.
Yeah.
A woman can like throw a rock through my window in my house because she's feeling a type of way, and there will be
Right.
a sort of excuse. Or a woman will like attack my father and say, "Oh, he did X, Y, and Z to me." And it, because we're in California, it might fucking fall through. It's That's
Right.
what I'm scared of.
Right.
So that's like, when it comes to me, it's like, fucking have at it. Let's go. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
when it comes to the people I really care about, that does scare me. I'm actually like, I'm trying to work my ass off so I can like, all right, family, let's go to like Florida or something, or let's go to like Mexico. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's reality.
Yeah. 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 No. No, I get that. Um. So if there was accountability for these crazy fucking cunts that wish to do harm to your family, would it make you feel better about telling the truth?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Like that's the big issue is that there's not. I'll tell you this,
Yeah.
even in my life, I take accountability. I've been, thank God, like I say it a lot of times, like I feel really, really lucky where although I was on that side, I never partook in the crazy things. Like I still saw like, well, okay, y'all are too crazy. Like, so I never,
Right.
I also like didn't, where it was socially acceptable to like have OnlyFans or or send nudes or do any of that stuff. Like I never did. Right. So
Good.
I don't have
Good.
a fucking closet of skeletons. That's why like
Right.
when you were asking me like, you're warning me like, hey, I'm just warning them. I'm good. I've had other people warn me several times. I really don't have anything to hide. I am who I say I am.
No, I was just warning you that the crazy bitches that I've collected have
Yeah.
been targeting people that I try to connect with and have conversations. They've been harassing other people because they can't get to me. Yeah.
Good. How about it? I'm ready. Because
Yeah.
I have my own crazy bitches.
Yeah.
I'm not as cool as you with like a fan club, but like I'm
I,
getting there.
I want to meet your crazy bitches. I want to add them to my list.
Well, one of them's on your list, so we have a mutual.
Oh, the Ash thought. Yeah, that crazy fucking bitch. Yeah.
I like,
Is that is that the best you have? Is that the craziest you have?
yeah, pretty much. I mean,
Oh man.
the rest are all on TikTok. I have a lot of black women that are angry because I'm like supporting passport bros and like explaining that bitches are just getting out of pocket. It's just men saying that they have a preference and these women like attack and berate them. And
Mm,
yeah, I always like to say there's always bad apples in any group. So obviously there's going to be like a few that are like taking advantage of the social and economical standpoint. But all the ones that I've met talk about wanting to find love, wanting to find a woman, wanting to protect, wanting to provide, wanting to have a family. And it's
right.
like I'm telling you, when I first came into the manosphere, I was like, it's misogynistic, they're all crazy and blah blah blah. And mind you, I'm like at the bottom of like the darkest pit of black. And so I'm getting trolled, and it took time for me to understand why, which is like because crazy bitches, number one, there's crazy
Yes.
bitches that are taking advantage of it. And in a sense, it's their form of protecting and making sure that not another crazy bitch is going to come in and take advantage of us.
Right.
That's the part why like you warned me about the chat and everybody warns me and stuff. And it's like that's what I keep in mind is that the reality is that these men are that have it's if I was hurt, if you hurt me, good mother,
Hmm.
and you were really mean for no reason and you hurt me and you manipulated me and you tore me to shreds and you ruined my fucking life,
Yeah.
anybody with the name good mother, I'd feel a goddamn type of way. So it takes a certain level of understanding the foundation of what this is all about to be able to be like, okay, I get it. So that's why I don't have an issue with it. I'm like,
Yeah.
and I really subscribe to the idea of like I keep proving who I am. I don't sway. I don't change. I'm not like switching up and being like feminism, man. Like
Right.
it is what I believe. It is in my heart, and so it'll just prove it in time. Whatever.
So, are you going to feel a certain kind of way when I get the 19th repealed?
The 19th, what?
Repealed?
What's that?
Women's right to vote.
That one I probably would feel a type of way.
Really? Why? Tell me. Talk
Uh,
me out of it.
mm.
Because it's a goal of mine.
I'm not going to talk you out of it. I think everyone should be able to have their own opinion without being demonized. But as a female, like there's certain things that like I think we do need like a woman's voice, just like something like Roe versus Wade, and not saying abortion is okay, but specific issues like incest or like grape or any of those things.
You can say rape on this platform. I constantly talk about how women emotionally and mentally rape men in our society and get away with it, and financially rape, and yeah,
Really do.
they do.
And that's the portion where it's like we need to have more laws in that aspect.
Yes, that's what I'm working on.
that that
Equanimity.
oh yeah, because especially
Yeah.
like with I'll tell you this, none of my girlfriends, which I only have two, uh,
Yeah.
and only two of them have children. Well, I have three girlfriends, two of them have children, right? Neither one of them went through the welfare system. Neither one of them. And when you ask them, it's because why would I? And that's where I think we need to be. And if they do go through not welfare, but child support,
Mhm.
um, but and they split 50-50, everything's made as like the decisions are made as a family and all that, it's and that's more, I think that's more helpful towards a family dynamic, period. But then you have all these other women that go through the state gets a cut of it, and they take it directly out of the guy's pocket, and they don't have any accountability for what these women are spending it on. And I hear way
Mm.
stories of these women
Oh yeah.
buying a fucking bag or buying
Yep.
it just it's and their kids are not well taken care of,
Mm.
and yet that doesn't change. It's
Yeah.
and then she goes into court and she's like, "But it's so hard," while she's
Mhm.
by 10 different dudes. I just it's
No, no. I watched my mom get child support, welfare, and while she was married, for some reason, sell her food stamps just to get her damn nails done and buy cigarettes. Like no
yeah.
accountability, none whatsoever.
I'm lucky
Yeah.
where I came from. My mom only got welfare from my dad once, and it was after repeatedly warning him, "You need to pick up your daughter and have a relationship with her, or else I'm going to
Yeah.
go that." And then what she did with that is she took me to Six Flags, she got me dresses, she went to Disneyland, and then when
Right.
he started coming back, she killed it. Like she didn't do the child support. So it's I'm really lucky where it's like I do attest a lot of my morals and values and what's right and wrong in my mom. Like
Yeah.
it's she was a good one. She is a good one. She's not dead. I don't know why I'm saying was.
Well,
uh,
that's good.
yeah. So
Yeah, I don't deny the fact that men in our society, there are some fucked up, terrible dads
yeah, but
that
there's
they
not
do exist.
it's not comparable to how many women are.
Exactly.
It's and that's
Exactly.
something I'm this is what I always say. I'm coming from the part where my dad was the bad guy, my mom was the good one. So
Right.
me to be able to say that means that I had to have met so many fucked up bitches and so many good fathers and men
Yeah.
and husbands that
Yeah.
it totally changed my fucking aspect, and it gets me angry.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
my like cheek like twitched. I'm like fuck.
Well, so what was your biggest aha moment where you were like, fuck, everything that I believed up until this point was wrong and holy shit. Because you just mentioned anger. It still sounds like you might have a little rage in you.
Not rage, but it is angry and it's hurt.
Yeah.
It's it's when you don't grow up with these kind of men as
Yeah.
examples, and
Yeah.
you only experience the narrative of like men are bad, right?
Right.
And you grow up and you encounter an entire space filled with like men that you watch like that are always with their children, or that will drop everything to spend time with their children, or
Yeah.
will um that want like love and relationship and like all this stuff. It's um
Hurtful that you missed out on that growing up, maybe a little bit.
yeah, and so then to see that getting fucked over,
Yeah.
that's what makes me mad. That's
Yeah.
it's and not only that, but like as women, we're supposed to be nurturing. We're supposed to do the right thing. We're supposed to
Yeah.
love, and we're supposed to take care of our children, and we're supposed to like I have women in my TikTok that are saying that mixed babies are mixing garbage DNA or garbage food, being white people with holistic and healthy whole organic food, which is black people. And
Oh,
that,
crazy black bitches. Oh yeah, yeah. I've already been in that sphere on YouTube. That like even this one dude, he thinks white people have racist DNA. He calls me the good Nazi.
that shit, like, because you have to understand, like, I'm Mexican and Argentine, so my mom is the Mexican old school, like if I have a bunch of friends that can't go anywhere for Christmas, they all come to my house and she makes
Right.
all the food. We have a toy drive that we've been doing for like fucking 5 years where she donates toys to a place that has men and women with their children. It's my mom is a fucking she's got hurt from her past, but when you talk about like a golden heart, like this bitch takes the cake, right? This Christmas, she said that she wants to make a fucking turkey and ham for the guys at Home Depot that help her like make deliveries for work.
Yeah.
When I say like that's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
example, right? So it's also, even though what my dad did wasn't cool, my mom also still instilled with me, don't end up, she never remarried, never dated again, never tried any of that stuff. And so that's like my big example of right and wrong. She instilled the right and wrong. And so when I see these women taking advantage, making fun of, or like these black women that are old fucking women, they look like either mothers or grandmothers,
Yeah.
talking about a fucking child,
Yeah.
that makes me angry. That you can call that fucking rage, because that's a
Yeah.
fucking child and you have a nurturing DNA. What the fuck is wrong with you that you
Yeah. Where is it?
things out loud or spew them into this world? Like how
Yeah.
it's the most, we're in a society where like all these inhumane things are okay, and I have a real issue with it,
Right.
especially when it comes to women, because I feel like men's emotions are very different than women.
Mm-hmm.
If I'll say it this way, right? So my dignity and all that shit's intact. So if I were to, let's say, tell a guy, hey, can you pay my rent, that doesn't feel right. So what that tells me is, bitch, at one point you decided to do that, and the very first time you did that it didn't feel right, but then you did it again, and then you did it again, and then you did it again till it felt
Right.
nice. And that's the shit where it's like there's no one fucking talking about that. There's women
Right.
feeling, so that means you made a deliberate decision to do that.
You know what I noticed though too? Some of this shit is intergenerational. Like, okay, my situation, for instance, my mom, crazy bitch. Okay. My younger sister followed in her footsteps.
Yeah.
So my sister looked at my mom and was like, I want to be like her for some weird reason. I don't know if it's because she didn't have a good relationship with her dad. Maybe it's because she didn't spend as much time as I did with my nana. Like I'm trying to look at the family dynamic, which led her down that path versus the path that I took.
Right.
So I do know that there are some kids that grow up thinking shit's normal.
Yeah, and yeah, to an extent, but like you
But I have a hard time understanding how they could not, like, going back to what you said, that first initial feeling where it wasn't right but you did it anyway. I think there's some of that to it too.
and that's what I like, that I don't even focus on the parental shit at this point.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
whether you do or you don't, whether you had a shitty example or you didn't,
Right.
there's still something that you feel when you do it, that it's
Right.
like, ugh. So whenever someone does something like that and then they're like, well, I didn't think about it, it's like, you okay, either you're a narcissist and you can't even feel your own feelings, or you
Right.
are just a fucking terrible piece of shit that decided to go through with it anyways.
Right.
Because like it's so, like, on the topic of your sister as an example,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that
Well, she's also an alcoholic, so that doesn't fucking
okay,
help.
well then there's the numbing.
She numbs those feelings.
There's the numbing.
So
That's why
yeah.
I said there's the numbing. It's a coping
Yeah.
to deal with it. But
Yeah.
let's say the person didn't drink. Let's say it was me, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't drink and I didn't have something to numb myself, and I had a shitty example. Either way, like, there is a because I had that shitty example, there's going to be that hurt that I went through, that at one point I'm going to think, this is what I went through.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the
Yeah.
part where it's like, they just like, I don't know if they just like flutter it away or what the fuck happens, but it's,
Where does it go? I don't know. I've never been an alcoholic. I don't know what it's like to, what do they call it in the field? Dissociate or whatever?
dissociation.
Yeah. I don't get it. That's why I'm like, these crazy bitches know what the fuck
Okay,
they're
then let me
doing.
tell you this. I've been in AA for 12 years. I usually don't fucking say it, but
Yeah,
it seems to be coming up a lot when it talks about accountability.
yeah,
There are moments of clarity where you're like, fuck. And those moments of clarity are your opportunity to act upon that and change something. So, as a person that had a drinking and a drugging problem, as a person that did it, that did numb, that did disassociate, that
yeah,
all of that shit, I
yeah,
had the opportunity to continue what I was doing, or I had the opportunity to stop and actually like pay attention to that moment of clarity because they're there. You don't just have one or two either. You have
yeah,
multiple moments of clarity where you're like, yeah, my dad had a drinking problem and now I'm doing it. It's
right.
That's my point. Is it like, yeah, we could go down that rabbit hole and say like all this shit, but the reality is there are those moments where you realize what you're doing and it's your
Yeah,
choice not to change anything about it.
yeah. I don't know. My nana was the only person in my entire family. My entire family are alcoholics, every single one of them. She was the one person in my family that was an alcoholic but quit drinking. She got a DUI, and this woman's like, "Well, fuck. Like, I'm not going to be able to drive. I need to drive. Like, I need to go through this," and it was state mandated or whatever, this counseling thing. And she made the conscious decision because they said if it happens again, she's losing her license. She's like, fuck that. That's my independence. I'm quitting drinking. And so I spent a lot of time as a kid in AA halls listening to people and talk about their stories and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I just never, maybe that experience made it less appetizing for me. So what is it like that aha moment where you make that decision? What is that like?
Um uh and for the record, I usually don't share it not because of my own stuff. It's usually
Yeah.
like it's like a penance of like you don't say this publicly, you are not representing it. So
Oh,
I have to
the
say
12
that.
step stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not a representation of it. I'm not representing it in any way. I'm just
yeah,
talking about my experience and I had to say it since we're talking about accountability and that's an
yeah,
excuse that people don't know if you haven't experienced it. I feel like most people stay away and like kind of give that excuse, but it
yeah,
is still an excuse because what it's like is it's like every time you royally fuck up,
yeah,
like in any situation, you can literally use this what I'm saying in any of those situations.
yeah,
Anytime you royally fuck shit up, there's a moment of clarity either before, like right before, during, or after
yeah,
that you realize this isn't right.
yeah,
And it's up to you whether you continue on that path or you take that it isn't right and you do something with it. And that's we were talking about one of the other guys like Hormaxer, right? I did a hit piece on him because he is talking to like 14 and 16-year-olds online saying like
oh
you need
yeah.
to do more
Ham,
and
ham, Hammerhand did one too. I shared it.
same with like hold the truth hostage. He has his own like little cult and shit
Yeah,
doing saying like and like I actually like personally tried to ask him before doing the hit piece because I'm like I don't want to just go based off of other people's information. And I
yeah,
was like, in your cult, you say girls that get their period are turned into women, but girls get their period at like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I got mine at 12. My little sister got hers at 9.
right.
And he's like, I'm able to say when a girl turns into a woman, and that is a woman ready for marriage and sex. And I was like, you realize that that's fucking disgusting, right? He's like, oh,
Yeah,
it's because I'm black. So then I got a black panel. I'm like, can we take his race card? Cool. Have at it. Like, I'm
right.
not, what is it? What is the term? We do not negotiate with terrorists.
Yes, never. Emotional and mental terrorists.
And that's what I was referring to specifically with Hormaxer because I didn't know enough to say this about Hold the Truth.
Yeah,
Hormaxer's on a bunch of fucking drugs. Like he
yeah,
is so far fetched from reality with the testosterone. That dude's gonna fucking have a heart attack. And I have
yeah.
no shame, no guilt, nothing. Go have a heart attack. I hope you get or go to jail. I hope you get raped. God, it feels so good to say that. Raped. Um, but
How is the freedom of speech going for you? Doesn't it feel good to be able to
I'm
say
like
what's
a
on
little
your mind?
sweaty right now. I'm not even
Well,
kidding.
yeah.
But no, so someone was making the argument of like, and I don't know why everyone's like fucking poor Hormaxer and shit, because it's like he's not poor. He's a fucking grown ass man
Right.
fucking around with teeny tots, making them feel weird and sexualizing them.
Yeah.
Uh, anyways, so someone was saying like, oh, but he's sick, and it's like, no, I was in AA. I'm in A. I have
Right.
the same fucking problem.
Right.
At a certain point, you realize, oh shit, I'm fucking up, and he is
Yeah.
way past that point.
Yeah.
So to me, it's the same thing like with the women that have children and they take a man for all his money. They fuck
Right.
him over in court. They get alimony. They marry him just to take his fucking money, or
Right.
they have a child and then bounce and dip, or like 1 in 4 men are not actually raising their own children. That shit fucking slapped me across the face. Like
Right.
it's God, I'm getting all sweaty. It's just there's too many fucked up situations at this point where it's like
Yeah.
we need like a prison or some shit because these women are out of control and there's no
Cra-
accountability.
crazy bitch boot camps.
A concentration camp?
Yeah, they're kind of like that. Yeah.
That's a lot better than the boot camp. I thought like boot camp was like sign up for my like course.
Well, but there's going to be some of that, but there's also going to be state mandated ones where the bitches will have to go there involuntarily and stay there till they cease being crazy fucking bitches. So
Oh, good luck.
there's going to be many of them everywhere. I mean, they're going to go under different names, of course,
Why does that sound exciting?
because it's needed in our society. Yes.
Because
I mean, yeah, no. It's this women's liberation thing, this women being allowed to do whatever the fuck they want thing needs to come to an end because it's literally destroying the world. Not
really,
just America, like 160 other fucking countries.
yeah.
And
And people don't realize that it's not just America.
right. Well, we set the stage. We set the standard for what goes on in the world. And there's a lot of things that our media pushes here that is a lie that other countries take in and then be like, oh, this is what they're doing. Here, let's tweak this policy. And it's actually kind of worse in some countries, like India, for instance. Like,
It's kind of like a poison.
oh, it's cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It needs to be contained. That's why I keep my channel Crazy Bitch free because shit's contagious.
Yeah.
Like when I spend too much time listening to crazy bitches, I start allowing them to gaslight me and I'm like, oh man, hold on, let me take a break.
Yeah.
Let me step back into reality. Like
I think I told you I went on Fresh and Fit. Obviously I want to monetize. I have a vagina. It's easier for me to get on the show.
Yeah.
And like but I left and I called one of the black pillars and I couldn't even talk because I was fucking depressed and I like almost cried midway through the show.
Right.
Some of the guys say like some kind of ridiculous things, but not really in comparison to every single girl there.
Yeah.
I was like it's depressing at this point. Like
Yeah.
and that's why I was like excited when I reached out to you because it's like I'm like even in the sector I'm in, right?
Yeah.
There's like maybe like 5 women that are in there but don't and they're supportive. They go on the chats, they like are supportive of the guys and they like to troll and it's fun and games and stuff. But there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 of them that are like an Ashley. Ashley's a fucking simp hunter. And then when she doesn't get her way, she also does this thing where she like also part of like a black pill Discord where there's a lot of incels, right? And they when I first went in there, they trolled me like a bitch, right?
Yeah.
And like I mean I take it just like I would take it anywhere else.
Yeah.
Emily did the same to her, and she started to cry her little alligator tears. And they were because these are really young guys. They don't have a lot of experience with women, right?
Right.
So they felt bad and all these things. Next night, I'm in the Discord, and some dude is like white knighting and like saying
Oh
you guys
God.
made her cry on live stream, and like what the fuck is he talking about? So I'm in there like, so they like don't even like me, but I call them my little piranhas because they hate they damned if I do, damned if I don't. I get paid
Yeah.
either way, right? But
Yeah.
I see it as like I'm a part of. I've been lucky enough that they allow me to be in there, so I will do whatever I can, and they will probably fucking shit on me anyways for
Yeah.
saying. So it's not to like look good on me. It's more of like
Right.
out what it is, right? So
Yeah.
this dude comes in there and starts saying like, "You guys made her cry on her live stream," and blah 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 blah. Blame the Discord of boys that doesn't do anything. They don't even fucking watch her stream, right?
Right.
And
Right.
I was like in there. This is when I was still pretending to be her friend. I'm just going out. Because this at this point I've seen her troll many people.
Yeah.
We'll get to the whole thing later, but I'm gonna say this portion. I
Mhm.
was basically saying like I just talked to her yesterday. She's saying like that she was fine. She said that she cried in the Discord chat, but that everyone was nice to her. It was just the stuff that was coming up for her personally. They didn't make her cry here, and they didn't make her cry on her live stream. And he's like,
Mhm.
yes, they did, and he wouldn't let it go.
Yeah.
And then we just go, and I tagged her. I'm like, and she confirmed it, and he still kept going. So it's she uses her tears, she uses her over sexualizing to manipulate men, right?
Yes. Yep.
And it's the same thing. I had a friend on here, Guy Bro. I actually really liked him, and we had a stream where I went on his platform, and I got to have that was like one of my first times where I got to like be free speech, right? And
Mhm.
I said exactly what I believe, and when I say like I really liked him, I thought we were like the like whatever. Um, she comes in and like I guess starts, and I heard this from one of her friends. She starts telling him that her and Sarah are gonna fly out to meet him, and oh my god, and you're so
Oh,
hot, blah blah blah.
God.
She just did another transformer again.
Petting zoo culture. Did they suck him into that?
Yeah, and then he started doing a hit piece on me again, saying I'm a transformer, and that didn't even bother me as much. But then he went on my live stream when it was supposed to be a celebration for not just me, but for my friends that went
Yeah.
on. We trolled Fresh and Fit. We got to say Fresh and Fit on Fresh, or we got to say Black Pill on Fresh and Fit. I didn't even know it was such a big thing, but it was really cool. And then
Yeah.
he came in there starting to troll and talk a bunch of shit again, and I was just like, all right, I'm done. It's once you cross me and
Yeah.
if you do something to intentionally hurt me when I've been real with you,
Yeah.
you're not coming back. It's you.
So yeah. No. But it sounds like he was infected by crazy bitchery. Now that stream you're talking about, was it not too long ago? Because I think I saw some of that. Or
Yeah,
where did I see? I saw you on somebody's stream. It was just the two of you though. I think it was Guybro.
yeah. It was. I was so
Okay.
before his channel got deleted. I literally had a full on like 2 hour conversation, and I got to like say what I believe because this is a
Yeah.
called. God, I hate. I don't even want to say anything good about him right now. But whatever. It's he says things and he's outlandish and he calls everyone a government agent and all these things.
Yeah.
Really got to decipher it, and he's not far off from what I believe, which is that like in essence we are technically government agents by being on YouTube and soliciting to the platforms and doing all this stuff, right? It
Right.
kind of makes sense. It does. We're playing into the whole like matrix theory.
Right.
It's so and like and all the other things that he talks about of like what the government is doing and how they're trying to divide and conquer and how they're trying to control us. I say that shit all the time. I'm
Yeah.
scared to say it on live stream, but I do say it, and like it is one of my core beliefs and why I'm here too. It's
Okay. I will agree with that as long as we can agree
it not
that the people that work in the government are just crazy cowardly bitches. Because the majority of government jobs are held by women.
break that down.
The majority of government jobs, all these three-letter agencies, they're the positions are held by women. Crazy bitches.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll agree with that whole government narrative if we can agree that it's still crazy feminist women.
I mean, it's fucking, I don't give a shit if it's women or men. It's just the government is too fucking big.
Oh
And
yeah.
the fact that it leans towards women is to make men weaker. And
Yeah.
now we're in a society so that the men can stay weaker and stay down. So if, because who's like really like the women are going to start an uprising or really going to do anything? The only reason that
Nope.
feminism worked is because they had the support of men. That's the only
Right.
fucking reason. If they did
Exactly.
not have the support of men, it would not have fucking worked. It would not have passed, and it wouldn't have gotten as far as it did.
Oh
So
yeah.
to me, it's like I don't care if it's men or women that like started it or whatever. It's the
Yeah.
government is way too fucking big. The
It
people's
is.
voice is too small. There is no such thing anymore as freedom of speech. Everyone's
Right.
getting canceled. When a person has their fucking bank accounts like stalled and
Yeah.
stopped and their money is taken from them and they're dropped and they can't even have a social media anything, like there's you can't reason that with what we're supposed to be. You can't make you no one can tell me that I'm wrong in that aspect. No.
Yeah. No, I agree. Has that ever happened to a woman though? I mean, I
No.
can think off the top of my head like
That's
5 men
actually
that
a
that's
point
happened to.
that's actually a point I've never heard before. You're fucking right. Holy shit.
Yeah, I've never heard that happening to a woman.
Wow. Holy shit. Wow.
Just we'll let that sink in for a second.
Bitch, are you saying what I think you're saying?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What am I saying? What do you think I'm saying?
That it's not the men controlling, it's the men being puppets and the women are the ones that are controlling. That's why no women get fucking canceled to be made an example of.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh shit.
The men are puppets. They're emotional hostages. They're financial hostages. They're if they make the wrong move, they can have their fucking livelihoods taken away from them. So not only those couple little scenarios where their bank accounts were funded and they got kicked off social media, that shit happens in everyday corporations. Like men are afraid to even fucking speak up at work. They without risking their livelihoods being demolished, which will absolutely stop them from being able to support their fucking family if they're lucky enough to have one.
I'm still like mind fucked right now.
Yeah. Oh no.
You
It's
just
like one of those.
you just
Yeah.
like crept into a place and like opened a door that I didn't know was there. So like I need
Yeah. I'll give you a minute. I'll
this
give
is
you a
what
minute.
happened with like the whole black pill thing. I
Yeah.
like came home and I was like, what the fuck? Like I like questioned my entire reality. It was like this
Yeah.
that thankfully this is like one little aspect, but like that
Yeah.
shit was like
Well, I have some good news. I have some good news, okay? These crazy bitches are nothing but cowards. And they only get away with what men let them get away with. All of them are cowards. They use fear. That the Jordan Peterson's been calling them terrified tyrants recently. Yeah.
Jordan Peterson, that's wait, isn't that the isn't he a therapist?
Psychology.
That's the one I was talking about.
Okay. Yeah, I love Jordan Peterson. Yeah.
I
No,
like
that guy woke up in
yeah.
the pits of hell, surrounded by all the demons that are literally have been destroying our society for decades.
Yep.
Yeah.
I literally love, and you know what I love the most about him is that he compare him to most of the other people that are saying the same things. He is the one that's unemotional. He leaves his emotions completely out of it so that they can't fuck with him. They can't sway him. They can't
Well,
like
he gets emotional when he sees the collective pain of the men. That's when he
right,
gets emotional.
right. But when meaning like how do I say this? A lot of people spurg out even if you are the best you can try to be to not get spurged out, they do, and I haven't seen him do it. I see him even when people try to like question his facts and like there was another lady like questioning the lobster theory, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just trying to, you saw that one where she's like trying to like, she was trying to just like strong arm him, and he just kept spewing facts. He did not change it. He didn't sway, and he corrected her. Even when
Yeah.
she was trying to manipulate his words, he corrected her manipulation as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I'm like, dude, that's the fucking goat. Like,
Yeah. Uncle Guns, yeah. I mean, that's just from my objective
that
point of view.
that
When I
is
see him speak, that's when he gets emotional because try as he might, as damn hard as he tries, he cannot disconnect his feelings from that because I think it's too personal for him. So when he's talking about men and men's pain, because he sees it, he sees a lot of it,
well, of
and
course.
he's been through a lot of it personally. So
Well, not just, I mean,
he has a big fucking weight on his shoulders that a lot of people,
exactly.
especially men, fucking disregard, and that pisses me off sometimes.
Well, the
So I'm
thing,
like, he's literally the defender of the patriarchy that came out of the fiery pits of hell, being the psychology field where the majority of the man-hating feminists
yeah.
dwell. So
And I can back that up. The only time I've ever seen him cry is literally when he's talking about the things that these men have gone through
yeah,
and trying to help. He doesn't as far as I've seen, I've never seen him crying about, oh, they hurt my feelings, they keep attacking me.
right,
He laughs at it. He literally
right,
started saying like, I have figured out a way to monetize off of it. Ha ha ha.
yep,
It's like
yeah, 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 yeah,
I'm like, that's why he's a fucking goat. He's and that's what I meant by unemotional, meaning he there's many people that could tie into the emotions, but when it comes down to like his hyper focus in what his goal is, that doesn't sway. That doesn't get
right,
confused. That doesn't like that's and that takes as a person that's done all this shit and been in that world and like argued with people and everything, the amount of strength that must take is something that's incredible.
yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah,
I'm like
yeah, yeah.
fangirling.
No, I'm a big fan of JP for sure.
Yeah. Oh,
I know you disagree, contriver. If you call blue pill the way things should fucking be, then yes, he's definitely the defender of the way things should be.
damn. That was like okay, I'm better now. I needed that moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Take a moment.
No, I'm better now. That shit was but you're like I never that makes sense why you're saying like we can have freedom.
Oh yeah, we can say whatever the fuck we want. We're women. It's us and trans women. Like if you go and buy boobs, you have freedom of speech too. Actually, trans women have more power than we do
Yeah,
currently.
they do. They do.
Yeah. And I fully support that. I feel like that's the snake eating its own tail. Like the LGBTQ plus, the lesbians started this shit, and
Yeah.
it's like the trans women are now
Dude,
canceling out the lesbians. It's
I
great.
laughed my ass off. I literally like laughed my ass off when the women had the whole like equality thing in LA, and then we started getting the gender neutral bathrooms, and then the women were pissed.
Really? See, I've never seen. I live in Texas. I've spent the past 13 years kind of in a conservative bubble, so I never paid attention to media.
Yeah, no, it was intense. It was really funny because it's like, didn't you guys want equality? And I like that that's the big portion that's like harped on. Is it like um the focus of like women say they want equality, and that's one thing that like
Right.
I also understand is that they keep on saying I want equality, we're the equal as men, we're this and that, but then as soon as like men give women the equality, they're like,
Right.
oh my god.
Right. You know, when I look at some of those, and they all kind of behave very similar. They demand respect, right?
Yeah,
Only they're the most disrespectful fucking cunts I've ever seen. So when I look at them, I'm like, why are you demanding something you're not willing to give out yourself? It's like you have to respect me, but you have to tolerate me not respecting you. Can you explain that for me? Being since you used to live in that delusion, maybe you can provide some kind of insight.
It's just a level of entitlement. That's all it is. It's as women, we've been trained and programmed to believe like nothing bad can happen to us. No one's going to hurt us. No one's going to do this and that and that. And it's a double standard because it's you have women that are literally chasing men with knives
Yeah.
and there's no repercussion. And like and not only
Right.
that, but like the way that the police department works, the way that the court system works, the way that everything works is against men. So even men that I know that have called the police on these crazy bitches, as
Yeah.
soon as the cops come, they immediately put men in handcuffs. Immediately. It's not even a questions asked. That's immediately what they do. And yet,
Right.
when you have a society like that, and that's what we have, there it's training men and women to believe this is normal. Women do not have repercussions. Women are
Right.
the victim, and you will always be wrong. And what does that
Yeah.
say to men? That says to men, you can't even try to fight this if you wanted to. And I mean, I've been in positions where I've tried to like defend myself and wasn't able to. And when that happened, I felt even smaller and I felt even weaker and I felt even more vulnerable. And so I crawled in a little fucking cave. And that's if I went through that just a couple of instances, just because I'm
Right.
a bitch sometimes,
Yeah.
imagine what that does to a man.
Yeah. Oh no, I saw that happen actually. My father's crazy bitch girlfriend, Stephanie, she used to fucking pick and pick and pick and pick at him. And she came after him because she was always accusing him of cheating on her and all this shit. She came after him with a fucking knife one time. I mean, this whole time I'm like, Dad, why do you put up with that shit? Like, this bitch is crazier than my mom. Like, he's and she had a son that he was trying to, be a dad to and stuff. But this bitch came after him with a fucking knife, and he grabbed it and fucking smacked her and was like, "Crazy bitch!" Like that was his boundary, right? That crazy bitch called the fucking cop on him. Cop showed up, put him in cuffs, took her child away. And I'm going, hey, she fucking started it. And I tried to talk to the cops and, being a kid, didn't fucking listen to me. And yeah, I mean, he got let out later, but yeah. She ended up, I think, getting put in cuffs too. But that was the end of their relationship. I guess that was my dad's boundary to where he was like, yeah, I'm not fucking with this bitch anymore. She came at me with a knife. But all the shit leading up to that, I mean, I saw it coming. It's crazy. Zero accountability.
This makes so much fucking sense.
Oh shit, another aha moment?
No, I mean, technically, yeah, I always said that like during like I've been saying since all this stuff happened, all the like divide and conquer aspects
Mm-hmm.
that it's always been about like divide and conquer and like even in every aspect that I look at any of these things, it's like of course, like it's like you like again, like you have to understand I come from LA, the like whole
Yeah.
thing is about women and feminism and all this shit and it's I
Well, I grew up in Washington State, so that's deep blue also. High level of mental illness, like over 50% dependent on the government, gynocentric to the max. So I grew up on the West Coast, very similar culture, I think. Maybe more drugs and depression because it's up there where it's rainy a lot, but still crazier than fuck. So that's why I moved to Texas. I'm like, dude, it's so much nicer down here.
I don't know. But all the out of everything, like the fun, like to like summarize my whole experience out, like in
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
it's because there's one aspect for me personally where like I woke up, right? But
Yeah.
then the whole other aspect when you wake up and you realize like that you are the anomaly, that your mom was the anomaly, that the rest of fucking society is really like that. It's
Right.
it's because they are like I said, I have like three girlfriends. The reason that I only have three is because the rest of the women that I know do not take any sense of accountability
Yeah.
at all. Like, so if they don't take accountability, even with me as a female, like these are the same women that are like,
Right. Yeah.
God, I feel like you need a button like of emotional damage. Like,
Oh, those buttons drive me crazy.
I think they're funny. I need
Too,
them right
way
now.
too chaotic.
No, I need them because it's just
Well, I have to tell you, when I moved down here, the majority of the people in my community aren't like that. So I think it has to do with the culture of the state and in the place that you're at. The people that I know, you'll never find them online. They don't have social media.
no, I
So
agree with that. I agree with that.
yeah,
Because I
yeah,
talk about that a lot. I've been lucky where it's like the examples that I have of like good relationships and stuff,
yeah,
they're not
yeah,
doing any crazy things. They're not like into the, like you said, into social media, but they're also
yeah.
not into the politics. They're like, I don't know, honey. I don't pay attention to that stuff.
Right, right, right.
It's just,
Yeah, I don't know how you're this sane living in California. I
it's
don't know how
it's
that's possible.
it's the people you choose to surround yourself with, right? So like people my
Yeah,
age, there's not as many, but I have a lot of older people that have been like my examples, that have like been my mentors or anything like that. And
yeah,
like and really like my mom, like it's so funny because I used to like be so sad that my mom, she beat me like this and blah blah blah, and now it's like the more and more and more I go through this, I'm like,
right,
fucking thank you for beating the fucking living daylights out of me. I'm not a whore. I'm not
right,
crazy. I'm not beating
right.
men. I'm not using men. Like fucking thank you. Like
Yeah,
it's the only one missing aspect was the whole I don't need a man. But even then, like she didn't deprive me of it. In fact, she told me, pick a good man, pick someone that's gonna treat you right, pick someone that's gonna want to be a team and like actually work through things and not want to get divorced and all these things, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
I've been in a lot of different places where everyone's like, they're gonna cheat on you. It's biological. And I'm just like, but I've also met even men here that say, like, no, I don't want, I'm just trying to find one good person. And so
right.
it's this funny thing where it's like that was the only missing key thing. And now I'm here and I'm like, dude, I keep saying like I have never loved men more than I ever have before. And
Yeah,
it's like I said, it's been a really interesting, it's if you would have talked, if we had this conversation like 3 years ago, I
yeah,
would have been on the crazy bitch side. I would have been on that list of yours. I would have been
yeah,
sure on that list. Not because I was so crazy, but like I did
yeah,
sign up to a lot of the bullshit. A
yeah,
lot. It's, I mean, I'll say it's when, what's crazy is when the whole voting for Trump won for Biden happened,
yeah.
the liberals like shut down the freeway. They like,
Really?
oh yeah, they like it was like a thing. But that's so when I say like why I'm scared,
Yeah.
you got to understand like these are the same women that created like the false rape allegations. These are the same people that,
Hold up, hold up. Back it up. You said grape again.
oh rape.
It's a habit, isn't it?
I had a friend that had that happen. And like thank God this dude had like he's pretty well off and had cameras in his house.
Yeah.
But like if he hadn't,
Right.
and that's the thing where it's like it's, I wish there was a better way to explain it to you other than like imagine having 10 people, if I had 10, if you had 10 people like surrounding you front to back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And 9 of those people kept telling you, this is the way, this is the way, women are right, men are wrong,
Right.
women are the fucking can do no wrong, men
Yeah.
are evil, women have no power, men have all the power. Women,
Right.
imagine having 9 of those people, and there's
Mm-hmm.
one, and then the one is like just quiet.
Mm-hmm.
That's like living in LA. So
Yeah.
it's even on like the like I have an opinion on the trans stuff going on. I do think like fundamentally there are some people that have the actual issue of being born in the wrong gender just because of like scientific studies where like the brain size was different and there's a different molecule and all that shit, right? I think, but I do personally believe that where we are in society, we fucking overexposed children to an extent where they're getting confused and they shouldn't be confused. They
Oh
shouldn't
yeah.
have been. When you have gay, trans, and lesbian people having a problem with being things like that being taught in schools, they're
Yep.
having a problem with people saying that they're oppressed, and they're having all these problems with like people saying that they're victims and they're saying no, we're
Mm-hmm.
not.
Mm-hmm.
They are at least fucking reasonable.
Yeah. I believe that and I only say this because of my lived experience. Gender dysphoria is definitely an environmental problem. There is a small percent of intersex people that have a genetic fucking deformity, but the
Small,
rest of it's
small.
bullshit. Oh yeah, it's like 0.007%.
And that's why I say this is that
Yeah.
the actual like percentage of people that have that is so small in
And
comparison.
it's a genetic defect.
Right,
It's a
right,
deformity.
right. And in comparison to how many people are actively saying that they are or aren't, that's
Yes,
when
yes.
it's again, it comes down to why I say like it doesn't even none of this stuff even has to do with the things that we're arguing about, even with between the men and the women. What it has
Yep.
to do with is control. And
Yep.
that's wow,
And who's in control?
I literally the fucking women. Oh my
Crazy
god.
bitches. It's the craziest of the bitches that are in
It's like the
control.
fucking biggest I swear to God, I know like
Right? Aha moment.
this fucks any fucking shred that I had. It just fucking it's
I know. It's okay. It's okay. Say it. Go ahead.
nothing. I just wish I was like fucking faking this because it's emotionally draining me right now realizing this. Like
Yeah. Yeah. Should we take a break? I have a little clip. Do you want to see you want
yeah,
to see a little white guilt stuff?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you want a break? Or
I'm
we can end this.
no, it's okay. I'm like it's
It takes some to ingest all these black pills I'm feeding you. You thought you were black pilled before. I
no
know.
wonder there's men going their own way. Now
Now you've yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Here, I'm gonna play Black as a Cult by Clue. Unfortunately, this SYSBMPUA is no longer on our side, but I'm gonna play his little clip. Just because it's the longest one I have saved here. I'm technologically fucking retarded, so here we go. Black as a Cult, 2 minutes.
This is what I'm talking about, Mandy. If you're listening, Mandy, if you're listening, this is what I'm talking about. They're white men are so afraid to tell the truth. Tell the truth.
No, we're not
They're
afraid.
so afraid of it.
No,
They don't want to be called these ad hominems or anything.
no. You have completely.
Carl, is black a cult? Yes or no?
If I were to say yes or no, I would be completely ignorant.
Stop being a bitch.
That's your takeaway.
Full of shit. You're full of shit because black is a cult. Black is a cult. Black is a cult. It's a cult. You always get quiet when I mention black as a cult. You always get quiet.
I give you
It's
the
a cult.
respect which for you to answer.
I need you to tell me it's a cult. It's a cult. Don't laugh.
No, it's
Fuck
just
you.
absurd.
Fuck
We've
you.
gone over
Don't
this
laugh.
over and over again, Clue. I enjoy talking to you. I love your perspective. I understand what you're trying to get across,
It's a cult.
but you're trying to say that it's either.
And I told
asking
you,
you,
I looked
how do
you
you
directly.
think?
Hold up. I looked you directly in your eyes and I told you that it's a cult. Black is a motherfucking cult, and you won't believe me on that. It's a motherfucking cult.
Do you really think that all blacks think the same, just like all whites, all whatever
Yeah,
color of their skin? No, hey, Clue, black is a cult. I get what what you were trying to get me to understand at the time. Maybe I came in late. I'm like, well, that's silly to paint it as broad brush as that, but yeah, I do agree and understand with what you're saying.
That is a clip that I made of an over hour-long conversation where there was I'll just say black man trying to explain to a white man that works in corporate that black is a cult. Now that this black man doesn't realize that it's feminists who are running this black cult, but that's how the conversation could have went. That's not really how it went though.
Yeah, but it's the reason this stuff fucks with me so much is because then it's like, how do I live in society?
All right. Don't yeah.
I've already gone to the point where it's like I don't even like to go out as much anymore. Like I hardly
Yeah.
do it. When I do, I'm like, fuck, I want to go home. So it's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like that's
Well, you live in a place where there's a lot of fucked up people. Like your experience out in your community, I'm sure, is completely polar opposite to mine in my community. My community is not like your community, so I could see how it would be isolating to be one of the awoken persons, we'll call it. Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it. Just get your family and move the fuck out of it before we sink California into the ocean.
for the record, good mother broke Minka. She fucking broke me.
No. You should feel empowered because you're actually more aware than the rest of them. And
I don't know what the fuck to do. Like,
well, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. I'm like, I thought I'd get online and, because when I came to this awareness, I'm like, oh, look, fuck no, the systemic oppression everybody talks about, it's of men. Let me get online and tell the men, because they've been listening to crazy bitches forever, to tell them just to speak the truth. Fuck all these crazy bitches. Like, they don't really have any power. They have more power or they think they have more power than they do, because up until now they've been getting away with shit. The only reason that they get away with shit is because men submit to the crazy bitchery. I'm like, men, you guys know the truth. Just speak the truth. You guys can have free speech.
no,
Like, send all the crazy bitches to me. Yeah, no, that didn't work.
they can't. They can't.
I know.
They
I know.
Like,
I know. Well, there's a lot that can, and there's a lot that do.
yeah, and then look at what the fuck happens to them.
A lot are getting away with it. Look at Elon Musk. He just got Twitter and started canceling and firing a bunch of these crazy bitches.
And then look at what happened to him now is that he's getting a lot of pushback and he's also seeming like he's like scared to continue to move forward. That's what I'm saying is that like
Since when?
since like I think a day ago, there's like reformation that he was trying to do and something got pushed back or some shit. It's when I say that like I'm scared, it's like the powers that be are so fucking great that all of us are scared. And what I do like seeing is that there never, at least what I've seen is that there's more, and not just in this space, like, but the big time people, the famous people, the financially like really stupid rich people, the all those people. There's more and more than I think any of us have ever seen of people speaking out and getting canceled and continuing to speak out and continuing to fucking move forward. So I'm hopeful in that aspect. But this is like the same thing when like I realize like truth about a lot of things. It's like it's just fucking sad.
No, it is sad. It's super sad. But the bright side is all these man-hating domestic terrorist organizations are run by terrified tyrants. These crazy bitches are afraid. So we can appropriate all their things. We can take them. Oh yeah, we can take them over easy. I've already taken over the minds of lots of them. They're scared shitless of me.
Really?
That's why when you first contacted me, I'm like, you're not afraid to talk to me? No, these crazy bitches are terrified of me.
Okay.
I'm like, really? I'm one person.
Can I use the bathroom?
One.
You elaborate on that because I need some sort of fucking help.
Well, I need to use the bathroom too.
Oh,
Maybe we'll take a pause. I'll play something. How about that?
That'd be good. Thank you.
Okay. Let me find something to play. Oh, let me play Jordan Peterson's video that Bullets put in the Discord. I'll play that. Good, because I'm going to pee too. Let's see. Bullets. Where are you? Here we go. Oh, it's a short, I think. Oh, maybe it'll play over and over. That'll be good. All right. Play yours. Which one? Son, your toilet one? The how to get a husband one? I'll play it after this one, okay? After I get back. Will you? Oh, I can find it. Here we go. Paste. I'm going to play this.
Worker risks his or her license, reputation, and livelihood if she or he dares talk to a minor about identity. But a butcher masquerading as a benevolent surgeon can castrate with impunity and be celebrated as a moral paragon. How about we stop doing this? It's wrong. Do I really have to say this? It's not just wrong. It's Auschwitz and Gulag level wrong. It's Nazi medical experiment level wrong. It's Unit 731 level wrong. And I'll put a trigger warning on that. Look up Unit 731 at your extreme peril. And I'm dead serious about that. So now a counselor, a physician, or social worker risks his or her license, reputation, and livelihood if she or he dares talk to a minor about identity. But a butcher masquerading as a benevolent surgeon can castrate with impunity and be celebrated as a moral paragon. How about we stop doing this? It's wrong. Do I really have to say this? It's not just wrong. It's Auschwitz and Gulag level wrong. It's Nazi medical experiment level wrong. It's Unit 731 level wrong. And I'll put a trigger warning on that. Look up Unit 731 at your extreme peril, and I'm dead serious about that. So now a counselor, a physician, or social worker risks his or her license, reputation, and livelihood if she or he dares talk to a minor about identity. But a butcher masquerading as a benevolent surgeon can castrate with impunity and be celebrated as a moral paragon. How about we stop doing this? It's wrong. Do I really have to say this? It's not just wrong. It's Auschwitz and Gulag level wrong. It's Nazi medical experiment level wrong. It's Unit 731 level wrong. And I'll put a trigger warning on that. Look up Unit 731 at your extreme peril, and I'm dead serious about that. So now a counselor, a physician, or social worker risks his or her license, reputation, and livelihood if she or he dares talk to a minor about identity. But a butcher masquerading as a benevolent surgeon can castrate with impunity and be celebrated as a moral paragon. How about we stop doing this? It's wrong. Do I really have to say this? It's not just wrong. It's Auschwitz and Gulag level wrong. It's Nazi medical experiment level wrong. It's Unit 731 level wrong. And I'll put a trigger warning on that. Look up Unit 731 at your extreme peril, and I'm dead serious about that. So now a counselor, a physician, or social worker risks his or her license, reputation, and livelihood if she or he dares talk to a minor about identity. But a butcher masquerading as a benevolent surgeon can castrate with impunity and be celebrated as a moral paragon. How about we stop doing this? It's wrong. Do I really have to say this? It's not just wrong. It's Auschwitz and Gulag level wrong. It's Nazi medical experiment level wrong. It's Unit 731 level wrong. And I'll put a trigger warning on that. Look up Unit 731 at your extreme peril, and I'm dead serious about that. So now a counselor, a physician, or social worker risks his or her license, reputation, and livelihood if she or he dares talk to a minor about identity. But a butcher masquerading as a benevolent surgeon can castrate with impunity and be celebrated as a moral paragon. How about we stop doing this?
How you doing?
Better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have to go throw up a little bit?
What?
Did you have to go throw up a little bit?
I just have to pee, but like, yeah, I definitely would sign up for that at this point because it's. I was not expecting this.
What?
I thought we were just gonna talk about regular.
Crazy bitches?
Yeah, no, it's
We can talk
no.
about more.
I know I don't want to be fucking retarded and sleep and like not know shit. I want like that's like the double-edged sword, right? Like you don't want to be asleep and sign up to a stupid narrative and you want to know the truth and you want to sign up for what's right, but like at the same time it's like this is so fucked.
Yeah.
It's like it was already fucked, but now it's like it's that what you just said, it like fucking falls in line with so much why the court system is like created for women to win, why it's so hard for men to like it's like I know so many good fathers that don't even get fucking 50% custody. I know so many men that have been falsely accused of raping women. I know so many men of that like get like have to pay fucking alimony for a bitch that it like intentionally married them to fuck them over. I know.
Yep.
And I again I have to say I come from the place where my mother was fucking good. She was a
Yeah.
good one, and my dad was an asshole. And to be on this side, it's like do you comprehend how fucking like how royally fucked up it has to actually be to get someone like me to like be like this like
Yeah.
it has like it has to be like
Yeah.
and I hate it because like I don't want to cry because that's like the 101 simp hunter thing is like, oh, she's gonna cry and like and I
Yeah.
and so like I'm stuck in between this like having to like try and be strong and then but also like it's so bad.
Yeah. Save your tears for off camera.
Yeah.
That's a secret weapon that
And I do, but it's like when it's
yeah.
this kind of shit, it's like fundamentally like
Yeah.
what
Woosah.
yeah, I'll sign the petition. Like
Right? Right?
no wonder you get women. I can see why. Because
Oh yeah.
you're not you're at even in this entire conversation you have not demonized women calling them like whores and this and that like you're only spitting facts and like you're begging questions that have blatant answers that allow a person to see it very clearly 1 + 1 = 2 you know and it's
Right?
so it's I can see why yeah.
I mean, whores are whores for sure. There has to be, for me, there has to be some proof of whoredom, though, for me to call a spade a spade.
Right, but
Like,
it's like it's and this is why like so many men like there's it's just like sorry, I'm like malfunctioning.
no, no. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I think you're doing an amazing job being fucking honest because, and I know you probably already knew this about me. I'm a human fucking lie detector and I have not detected one lie so far. So I appreciate you being an honest bitch. They are
It's because my mom beat me. So like she, as a
right.
kid, I lied a lot. And she like whooped the shit out of it. Like,
Yeah.
so
No, it's good.
it's also
good.
there's like a saying of like you're as sick as your secrets, and so that's why I always like people. Always
Yes.
me.
Exactly that. And that's why all these crazy bitches are so fucking crazy because they're liars.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's the thing where it's like I've also like see that's why I don't have my actual life like I don't really have shit. I mean, work wise, I work, but like I don't really have stuff that I'm like, oh my god, this happened here and this happened. No, it's just online shit. And even then, it's like with my core people. Like I'll tell you this, like, part of the reason that I really like love the Manosphere and I want to see it grow and all of this, just as a woman, like I feel more feminine now than I ever have been. And I do see the power in being a woman. It's like when we are fucking angry and when we're not sick and just trying to manipulate people,
Yeah.
like this stuff, right? What
Yeah.
you're showing me and what I'm waking up to, and even the men that I've gotten to meet here and see and hear their stories about how they've been fucking, like you said, that is rape. They've been raped.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's the anger that a woman can have and the destruction that we can cause when we're doing for the right instead of what women have been doing it for is incredibly powerful.
Oh yeah.
And like the reality is that like I always tell people like I have a fucking monster and I warn people if they're like if you were to like stab me and I'm like please don't do that, I can kill you, and then I stab me again. I usually warn people up to like 5 times and then I let it unleash and I go full throttle. That's what happened with Ashley. And you know, and you 100% have my support. It's I mean
Well, you have mine also. And you know what? I didn't
realize it was this like
hold on. Me personally, I have never unleashed that monster onto anybody yet on the internet.
well, yeah,
Which is funny because there's this crazy bitch, I like to refer to her as Malicent Tucky. And like she's accused me of attacking her And I've told her a million times. I'm like, oh no. When I attack you, I'm gonna go for your fucking jugular. And I still have yet to do it. But she keeps crying. She's a little cry bully. She's well, you saw my crazy bitch list, right? My little playlist of crazy bitch feminists to avoid. Maybe I should put on there like the fucking plague. I've been collecting different types of crazy bitches because there's crazy bitches everywhere. They're in all the fucking groups. They all have one thing in common. They lie and they completely 100% always dodge accountability. So those are kind of my two main things. It's
Yeah,
like, are you a liar and are you not holding yourself accountable? That's yeah.
No, and you're right, because even when I have like attacked people, I haven't gone full throttle. I still leave a lot of things out. And that's the thing that people don't realize.
Yeah.
It's you just like, it's kind of like I said with when like the black pillars like black pilled me. I'll tell you this is like I have a lot of the guys have been really patient with me, like including like self and guns and like
Yeah.
like the like when I really like woke it up and everything, it was like realizing how much time that they really spared with me and allowed me to talk and allowed me to like question things and allowed me to like ask like, does this mean this and does this mean that? It takes a lot of fucking patience to like have my random calls and texts like the philosophical fucking brain exploding.
Right. Right.
It's shitty for you because now you fucked me up too. Like
Right.
it's when that happened, it was like I felt like it was a missing puzzle piece of this whole like what reality is. And now what you're saying, it's like, oh my God, like this goes even deeper, and it's a little scary because it's like, fuck, does it go even deeper than that? And it's but I want to, if we can talk about what we are doing, because what I do like seeing and what allows me to like keep going is seeing other people doing this stuff too.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
seeing like that there are people standing up for the correct side. There are, and it's so fucking funny because we're the most hated. It's society wise. I'm not talking about here. I'm saying like society wise. When I go back to LA and I start saying this shit at the dinner table,
Yeah.
that's what I'm referring to.
Yeah.
Like,
That's not my experience. Probably because my community is completely different, and the people I associate in my real life with are completely different. They're just busy. They all think the same damn thing. They don't have time for any of this internet stuff. And I relay a lot of people's stories and a lot of other people's thoughts online because I'm like the most emotionally and mentally unstable people that we have in our society. You'll find them online. And they are the loudest, right?
Yeah.
So all the busy people, the majority of people that probably aren't fucking crazy, that are doing responsible people stuff, don't have time for this shit. So I get to relay a lot of messages to try to push a different narrative because this shit has to be stomped out. The crazy bitches have the monopoly on the attention, right?
Yeah, I mean, I told you the stupid stuff that happened with that, like even with that stuff, right? This is why a lot of people say like there's no room for women in the manosphere. What I believe is that women need to come here and support the men because they're not allowed to say these things, and that's what happened with
court staff. Perfect. Yes.
Yeah, and that's what happened with the stuff with Ashley, right? So like she went after my people, and my people are the guys that have been patient with me. And
yeah.
So, and that's what it was. It's like she had gone after you. She had gone after the girl named Grace. And I didn't like that because she's just doing that just because she hates herself, right? And that's not a problem.
Yeah. But I wonder who hurt her.
I love using that on women.
Right?
It's like, who hurt you?
Yes.
But it's you know, and she shared vulnerable things with me that I won't say online. You know, I do have a morality compass that it's like I could kill you if I wanted to, but I'm not going to because it does more damage than good, and it proves to you that the world is the way that you are, and that's not the case.
Right. It's almost a they try to push you to fit into their fucking narrative, and they poke and try to poke you so you do fulfill that little prophecy that they had.
Right. And but the reality is, it's like I watched her. So when we first met, she did the same exact thing to me for no reason. Her and her little friend Sarah, they both like fucking tried to gangbang me in a chat. And everyone, I had people texting and calling like, do you know this chick? And I'm like, no. And I warned them a couple of times, like, please don't do that, because I don't want to hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
Like, I come from hell. Like, you can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
I trolled them, and they're like, what the hell? And then we had a private conversation where she was very much like, I thought you were just like a pretty dumb bitch and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, no, but I had the conversation. Do not do this to people. Not because like, oh, you don't know who's going to troll back, but because you don't know who's going to fucking kill themselves.
Right.
Like that's when you're going to feel it. That's when you're going to feel like shit. And then I watched her do it to several people over and over and over again. And I'm still like,
Mm-hmm.
and then after that is when I saw her go after my people.
Mm-hmm.
She tried to go after them in dangerous ways.
Mm-hmm.
And when that happened, it was just like, all right. And then I told them, I was like, just let me give me the opportunity to handle this, because I have a vagina, and if you don't do it, it's not, you know.
Right. No, women need to sort women out, just like the men need to sort the men out. But right now in our society, we have women getting in the way of men sorting the men out, and vice versa. These crazy bitches emotionally terrorize these white knights into coming after women. Exactly. Like, that's fucked up. That's not natural.
I gave you the example of the white knight that came into the Discord. And these, again, you have to remember, like, there's only a couple of them that are my age in that Discord. The rest of them are like 25 to 16 probably, right? And they're socially awkward, all these things. And so this person's coming in blaming these guys that didn't even do anything. They were actually nice to her. Yeah. She started crying. They were actually nice to her. Right?
Probably a lot fucking nicer than she deserved.
So, that's my point. And so like, and so that when that happened there, I was the one to like speak the loudest, because again, I have a vagina. When she did it again, I finally like I let it all out. I'm like, you did this, you attacked, because she didn't even know you prior to you being on Tony's stream, and she was trolling you, right?
Oh, no. I came across her channel. I made a couple comments. She fucking popped off at the mouth because she was engaging in misandry, which I'm not a fan of. I'm like, here's a woman trying to sort a man out. How fucking disgusting. So she popped off at the mouth, told me, like, called me a fucker or something. And then I reminded her real quick that, hey, I'm not a dude, I'm a chick. And then she shut her fucking mouth. And then the next time I saw her was that night on Tony's channel, where she was popping off at the mouth again. And like I was like, I already knew, like, within the first 5 minutes that was a crazy bitch that was going on my list.
So you just called her out, and then she took offense to it and went full throttle, and then she deserved it. So that's the same thing that happened when I told the guys, I'm like, let me. So I'm actually the one that kicked her out of the Discord. I'm the one that, when we did the voice chat, I called her out on everything, because she wanted to like F you. And I didn't even do anything to her. What she got upset about was that I played really weak, because I didn't even play. I just like called her because I was upset about something. She fit a narrative. And then as soon as she started saying things like, you know, I don't have a huge channel, but it's bigger than yours, Minkas. You can come on my channel and I'll help you. I don't, this is why I say I love Black Pill, and I feel like they saved me. She said, and I don't want anything from you. I just think you're awesome, and I want to see you succeed, and blah, blah, blah.
So she was love bombing you, is that what you're saying?
So whenever someone says, if this was me prior to this, I would have been like, oh, she really cares. Now it's like, what do you want, right?
Exactly.
Even in my relationships with the guys, like, it's mutually beneficial, and it's there's no confusion about it, and there is a certain level of loyalty, right? Yeah. When it came to her, as soon as she said that, anything she said, I was like, yes. So she was like, oh, they have this on you, don't they? Yes. They made you do this, right? Yes. They made you do that, right? Yes. So
you told her all the things she wanted to hear.
things does she fit the narrative of? I just continued
Yeah.
to say yes, and I was like, "Yep, that's exactly what it
Yeah.
is." And even things I knew that people had on her, I played on that, and I was like, "Yes," and oh my god, they did this, and I'm so scared. I just, as soon as she said that, it was like boom,
Yep.
and I had already seen her attack my guys, and I
Yep.
had already seen that. Like, luckily, they are very smart, and they didn't play into it, and they
Yeah.
didn't allow her to wordsmith shit and all that stuff. They handle themselves. They don't fucking need me.
Yeah.
But when it's a person like that I see manipulating people that I care about, I can't
Oh
help.
yeah. Oh yeah.
And so
Oh, yeah.
when I hopped on the call, she didn't say anything. We were talking like random shit for a while, and then I was like, "Look, I got to go live in like 10 minutes. You want to say something?" She's like, "I'm just waiting for you to finish. I didn't want to interrupt you." I'm like, "Listen, don't pretend you're like this duplicitous whore that like is super polite.
Right.
You're the biggest loudmouth, so there's no need to pretend now."
Right.
You lied to me and you this. I'm like, no, but you, because what she was mad about was I was pretending to be weak. I was pretending I needed her help. I went on Fresh and Fit, obviously, to gain like I want to gain recognition. I'm going to use my face, and I'm going to use my not my JJ, but the fact that I'm a woman to get ahead. And the people that are with me that we're talking about the same things are coming with me. We're all doing it together.
Yeah.
And I have people around me that'll slap the shit out of me when I'm acting out of pocket.
Yeah.
It's that accountability, right? And so, so what happened was I didn't talk to her before because I was supposed to go on there on Friday. They hit me up at like last minute saying we have a special, blah 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 blah. I went on the show, and I also asked the guys not to say anything until right before I was about to go on.
Yeah.
I don't like talking about what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Smart.
Did it that way. I get off, like we're all done with the show. I come back home. I knock out. I like done. I'm exhausted.
Of course.
The next day I didn't wake up until 6 p.m. I'm like missed all my work meetings. That's how tired I was.
Yeah.
And when I woke up at 6 p.m., she was in the chat, like throwing me middle fingers saying, F you, Minka, you're a liar, and all these things. And I was like, dude, what the? I didn't even come after you. You literally did this all yourself. And so then I hopped on voice chat, and I let her have it. And I was like, I wasn't emotional. I was like, I just listed every person that she's attacked, every situation that she's done, how she cries to manipulate, how she over sexualizes herself, how she simp hunts, how she like pretends that she likes guys in order to get them on her side, how she tells guys that she's going to go out and fly out to see them and meet them and all these things, and how she basically like makes them feel like there's an actual possibility of her sleeping with them or whatever. I pointed all of it out. I pointed out how she attacked the Discord. I just all facts.
Yeah.
And she could not stop screaming.
Of course.
She could literally not stop screaming. The guys couldn't even ask anything because she could not stop screaming. And all that it exemplified was you got caught and you're a fucking feminist in the goddamn manosphere. And I went, if you go on, I sent you the videos too. If you go on King's, one of the one, King's had a live stream that we were on, and she had, this is the other thing too, right? So someone had like asked a question of like, do women belong in the manosphere? And I had like a whole essay of what I thought, which is a lot of the stuff that we're talking about, where I think the women that sexualize it need to be booted. I think the women that cry crocodile tears need to be booted. And I think the women that want to change it, because it's a man cave, right? It's not,
right.
I always say, if you're in here, understand this is the man's space. And she was trying to beg the argument of, anyway, so if you're in here and you're a woman, understand it's a man's space, and you think that they're being mean to you because they're trolling you, but they're actually protecting their space. And then on top of that, look at how they fucking treat each other. They're men.
Right.
Like, relax. And so the paragraphs, right? She started using those talking points. Never before had she said any of those things. She started using all of my talking points, saying like, I want to be an example to women and blah. I'm like, so I switched it up.
Whoa, no. She's a great example of how women should not be.
So I switched it up like in that moment. I was like, I have no hope for women. My last hope is men. And she, like, you could see on camera, she's kind of like, and then because it's not her authenticity, she actually
Yeah.
even went further into it, saying that she hates that men keep trolling her, that it can't be this way, that because she has children and she's single and not married, that it can't be that nobody wants her. And then she went into it even further, saying that like this is why I'm turned off by the manosphere, because this can't be the way it is. It needs to change. We need to have a revolt. We need to have an uprising. And it's
There's her feminist
it
hanging
is
out
all
again.
camera. And that's one of the things that I said in the voice chat. I'm like, bitch, you literally told me that women, we need to stick together, and that Ninka, you haven't made any content with any other female content creators, and that's not a good look for you. The reality is, I haven't found any content creators that actually make content that are females, that have a vagina, that I respect, that I want to make content.
Right.
You're literally one of the fucking first.
Yeah.
And like even the guys, I told them, when I told them that what she was saying, I'm like, I don't fucking want any of these bitches. You got fucking Roma Army that lives in Canada that knows nothing about Los Angeles or
She's
California
nasty.
laws.
She's nasty.
Sexualizes everything. She's a goddamn fucking hooker. I think she's a sociopath because she's from Romania. It's
Yeah.
then you have like Pearly Things, who's really a misogynist and just plays on what men think and believe, and doesn't leave any room to actually bring women to awaken, and only manipulates them, and takes all of Kevin Samuel's talking points. It doesn't bring anything new to the table.
See, I'm Pearly. I'm a supporter of Pearly. Yes, she's a puppet. She's a young puppet, but she's doing more good than harm currently. So I support her.
I could understand that. I can respect
Yeah. I mean, she's young and she wants to be online and she wants to go travel and do these things, and she takes correction well.
No
like there's been a couple times where I've had to check her a little bit because she's straying off the path, but I keep my eye on that one.
No one has given me that talking point, and I can.
No,
I can agree.
Yeah, she's the only one though. She's the only one.
But even like her little friend, she had Femme Sapien.
Oh, that crazy bitch. She's a coward. She was here trying to tell me what to do and shit.
No, her husband, the husband that she has, that she's like, oh my God, I'm married. That was her. So her ex-husband, her new husband, ex-husband, her new husband was ex-husband's boss and her teacher. So she divorced ex-husband and got with boss teacher.
So she monkey branched.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, she's a crazy bitch. So
yeah,
she's a crazy bitch. I cannot stand that little cunt. Yeah.
She's so funny. She hates me.
Well, I have to tell you, I've met 3 women in my past over 2 years online that come to this channel and regularly take part in discussions. Mrs. Sunkist, she's from the Communita. Okay. She's a little racist, but she's not a feminist. Okay. She's from the spirituality realm, and I have deemed her the queen of the blackosphere. And the other crazy black bitches fucking hate it. So do the SYSBM dudes. So she's actually a really badass chick. Marie, she is the Catholic dictator of the Crazy Bitch Boot Camp. She's a married woman. She's, I think, maybe a couple years older than you. But she don't say you're Catholic in front of her, because she will make sure she'll pick you apart. For like she came from a solid 2-parent household, good values, morals, principles. She's who I refer to when it comes to anything biblical, because I'm this heathen, this atheist, and I cuss a lot. And I'm so vulgar, but she tolerates me because I keep the crazy bitches away, and then she educates me on the Bible stuff.
So I would love to have that conversation, actually, because I like I said, like I don't want to. If people bring up, I always tell people, use discernment, right? Even with the shit I say, go fucking look it up yourself. Like don't just go with what sounds good and all this stuff. And I just I wasn't gonna say this, but I just got confirmation I could say it without saying the person's name. Mm-hmm. The reason that I went after Ashley, and that my Discord doesn't know this either, and I got some backlash from my Discord. They kind of made some like Putin jokes about me when I kicked her out, her and her 2 other friends. when I had spoken to Ashley and we were FaceTiming and she was crying because, again, she trolled someone that trolled her ass back. She called me regularly crying when people.
Oh my God. Why did you tolerate that bullshit?
Because I really try to hope that people can wake up, but she's a lost
Okay.
cause.
Okay,
So
yeah.
I
She
met,
is.
we FaceTimed and I talked to her and I talked to her 17-year-old niece.
Mm.
She doesn't have custody of her kids. Her kids are somewhere else. I don't fucking know, but I did meet her niece. And a couple weeks ago, her niece friend requested and DM'd one of the guys. Now, we instructed him to immediately block her
Yeah.
because it takes one nude to be sent.
Oh yeah.
Unsolicited to
Yeah.
fuck a guy over.
Yep.
There's not, and someone could fucking go ahead and like argue like, oh, that's speculation or whatever. When you're dealing with this kind of person and you see them manipulate, and a 17-year-old that's their fucking niece slides into a grown man's fucking DMs.
Yep. She
What-
caused it. She facilitated that shit
Like
for bad faith reasons. Period. The end.
and
Yeah.
that is why that when I say like I don't go after
Mm-mm.
I don't
Yeah.
go after people unless they fucking deserve it, unless it's absolutely needed. And in this space, I have a vagina. I can do
Yeah.
it, and
Yeah.
I'm down to be the Nazi. I'm down to be the fucking Putin, whatever you want to call me.
Yeah.
You come after one of my people that I
Yeah.
see is honest, that I see is truthful, that I see always is fucking consistent, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Bets are off, and
Yeah.
she's gonna fucking eat dicks because this isn't gonna go away. It's not
Yeah.
something that like. You're in the manosphere. You're trying to create a feminist fucking revolt in the manosphere. Luckily, bitches that are in our Discord, and I say bitches with love and endearment and respect, because we do have quite a few women in there.
Mm.
They're not trying to get subs. They're not trying to do it. They're just there, and they just support
Do
it.
they
Yeah.
they follow your lead though? Like,
No, they're smart women. They don't need to follow my lead. It's kind of cool because like there's one that's kind of quiet and doesn't really say a lot, but she agrees with a lot of the talking points and she brings valid like
Yeah.
questions. She likes it here, and then there's another one that is actually seeing one of the guys that their boyfriend and girlfriend, and it's really cool to see her because she was very much like me of like independent, had to be blah blah blah, and like the conversation even we were having today, when the way she was talking about movie like their stuff, it's someone asked her a question and it was had to do kind of like with submitting to a man. If you had told me that she would have been like this today, like a year ago when they first started dating, I'd be like, no fucking way. But she was totally like, absolutely, I'm submitting to him. It would be disrespectful to him if I hadn't done it that way. And I'm like, that gives me hope because I'm kind of scared of dating and like that, like, it's so the girls that we do have that are like in there are pretty freaking solid. They're dope.
Oh,
And
good.
they're not and they're not following my lead or my example. They're their own women and it's nice. It's actually really fucking nice because I don't have to be an example. They're just actual good human beings. That'd be cool if I could say I'm an example, but that's not the case with these ladies. And it's
Okay.
like, yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad you know more because I've only come across 3 in over 2 years.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they don't have their own channels either. The ladies that I'm talking about, they also
Okay.
have their own channels. They're
Yeah.
just they have
These ones do. These ones do. And actually, Harley, she's the 3rd one. She's the youngest one. She also used to be a feminist, and she was homeless for 5 months, and that kind of fucking woke her up. So she comes from a more dysfunctional background, and did the rainbow hair and shit, and and she's recently got married, and she's about to pop out some kiddos, and
oh my god.
I joke that she's the first graduate of the Crazy Bitch Boot Camp, and she's now an educator. I love Harley. She's
I really
sweet.
like it here.
Yeah.
It's fucking
But they have Harley and Marie started kind of a wife school channel kind of thing. So both of those girls, because they're married, they're not out here. Like
I understand it.
Yeah. So they kind of talk behind an avatar, but at least they're still fucking talking, and they'll join the discussions. And Mrs. Sunkiss, though, the queen of the Blackosphere, she is as real as they get. I would love to see you guys have conversation because she's from Texas and she moved to Washington State, so she's getting immersed in white culture, and I think it's helping dissolve a little bit of the racism she has. We joke that because white people are always the one that are called racist. It's like she's the racist and I'm the white supremacist, and we kind of get along because we can have adult conversation. And holy shit, black people fucking hate it, especially black women hate it. And she gets attacked a lot. So, but she doesn't give a shit. She does her own thing.
It's just,
Who's Jess?
huh?
I don't know who Jess is. This is a new person. Wrenches, will y'all just excommunicado all the disrespectful little cunts that come in here and talk shit about the guest, please? Sorry, if you don't have a wrench, you don't get to troll the guests. Jokingly. Right? Could be Anna, or it could be one of, BB's crazy bitches that she's collected. Well, what do you have planned? I know you said you want to do a podcast, or you're working on your channel. I would love to see your channel grow huge, being since you want to be out there. I've been trying to avoid the algorithms because I've tried to keep my channel kind of crazy bitch free. I don't want to blow up. I have no interest in the viral shit. I want to kind of stay behind the scenes and be support staff. I'll keep the crazy bitches away, and I will keep making my list bigger and bigger, because once I get the green light, I'm going to start rounding these bitches up and putting them through the gulag. So
I'm excited. You give me hope. You mean my hope for my channel, or my hope for what?
Yeah, your channel. Like, what's your goal?
My goal is to be sorry, it's just a fucking lot. Holy shit. There was a lot of unpacking.
Yeah. You're going to have a vulnerability hangover after this too.
What do you mean?
A vulnerability hangover. I don't know. Brene Brown talks about it in her books.
I don't think I've ever heard the term vulnerability hangover.
Oh.
But that's actually like a thing. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I'm straightforward. I do want to grow my channel to a retarded amount, but I don't want to sway my key points and my topics. I think that we need to have these conversations. I know that a lot of the conversation has to do with dating and all that stuff, but like
I really liked your conversation tonight. That was the first stream. Like I said before, I didn't know you had previous ones, and I listened through the whole thing. I was kind of listening to yours and listening to another one at the same time, but I was mainly watching the chat for crazy bitches that
the reality is that like I've had a lot of different experiences in my personal life as well as on YouTube, where it's like on social media in general, I have learned to love the hate. My first couple of pieces were either hit pieces or calling people out. I just go for what the truth is, and it's not the truth, someone's truth. It's the truth, right?
Yeah.
And it's also very hard as a female to realize like a lot of these things that I have to admit that I was or that I did or anything like that. Like I said before, like I came in here thinking it was like misogynistic, and luckily these people were patient with me and they like planted the seeds and they helped out.
Yeah.
And I did, and I mean, even that has prepared me for this, right?
Yeah.
So the thing that I do have is, because of my background, because of everything, my constant the constant pattern is I get a lot of hate, a lot of clash, and then they get to see me, there's consistency, and they kind of fuck with me for the most part.
Yeah.
but because of that as well is I don't necessarily like use women and like berate them to make an example of them. But what I do is I try to communicate that with them the way that they can hopefully understand. I have a lot of different experiences in my background that help me with.
Mhm.
It's kind of like using manipulation for good to be able
Yeah.
to
Oh yeah.
be able to communicate with the way that they're going to understand without making them feel attacked, without making
So
that.
so you want to help women, right?
Yeah,
Be better bitches.
better bitches.
Okay. See, and that's where I highly value your role, because I don't give a flying fuck about any of these women. I just want them to stop abusing men. So when I see these women, I'll just take them and I'll tear them down real quick and I'll throw them in your sector of the Crazy Bitch Boot Camp. And you can talk to them like they're 5 because you care about them and I don't. Like, I'm the bad guy online.
Okay, they're good guys. It's I mean,
Yeah.
technically neither of us are good guys. It's I'll say this is that like even with my best friend, right? She's
Mhm.
really the only girl that it's like that is my best friend, and the only reason she's my best friend is she tries to do the best she can, and whether it's in the moment or after or later, she also the hell someone's trying to call me through Instagram. What the fuck? Uh, whether it's in the moment or it's after, she always comes to the truth and she always acts accordingly and she tries to change herself to be better for herself, for her child, for her family, for just be a better woman, right? And
Mhm.
it's really, 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 really hard to find those. At the same time, it's interesting in our dynamics is I was always very much too masculine and not feminine, didn't know how just and she was very much too feminine and not being able to stand up for herself. So we've really balanced each other out.
Mhm.
She's taught me more about being understanding and sweet and kind of not just jumping the gun. I've taught her more about men are not wallets. We cannot like utilize them for things. We can it's not a good thing and it always
Mhm.
comes back to you. One of the things I like to say a lot is like the truth always comes out one way or another. It always
Right.
and and
It does.
yeah, and so like even like women around, it's like I do hope that I can do something, and I apparently am obsessed with it enough that I'll keep doing it. I'll keep
Yeah.
trying.
Yeah. Hey, there. I have a question. Just because somebody brought this up in the chat, somebody's accusing you of me tooing a man after Fresh and Fit's podcast.
The hell?
Yeah, I don't know.
Not at all. I've never.
I mean, I have never seen this person before in my life. It's not a MGTOW person that I've ever come in contact with,
You
but
can take a look at my records. You can take a look at my media, my socials, everything. I've never done that ever. I've also never had that, you know. I also don't date much, so it's kind of hard to have that happen when. And I also have mainly like a lot of guy friends because they seem to be the only ones that like are somewhat normal back home.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and actually on that topic, one of my friends just got fired from his job because of being falsely accused of harassment. So it's not that's not something I fuck around with.
Yeah.
But that's
Right.
cool. Maybe it's an Ashley like fake account or something.
You know what? It could be that crazy bitch is one crazy fucking bitch.
Yeah, no, it's
So you didn't make a hit video on her? You just sorted her out in the Discord?
here's the thing. It's there's certain people like the people that I did that for, like that I did pieces on. It's because it's the truth that needs to be said more and more, so we could hold these people accountable.
Yeah.
Ashley is just a small little thing that's not going to grow. She's not going to be able to manipulate the whole world. She's going to, you know what I mean? And she's her own worst enemy. She just exemplified that. I didn't do anything to her. She jumped to conclusions. She fights everybody. When you have an issue with everybody, there's only a matter of time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So and I refuse to help her in any way, including giving her clout or doing anything like that. So I'm not doing a hit piece. Everything that happened is already done. The only reason it's a conversation between here is because I know that your experience with her, and like the reality is that's why I did something, because that is dangerous. We're literally
Oh yeah.
about these things.
Well, and when you're a woman and you know very well down to your fucking core, because it's in your nature, what toxic female looks like.
Yeah.
Like there's so not enough data out there, not enough research, not enough awareness because most women lie. Okay. There's not enough training out there to train men on how to avoid, because half the shit that happens men don't even see. Like when as a woman we see a specific thing taking place, you can already gauge what that's going to be, what the intention of that crazy bitch is. And so as a woman you can like head it off and stop it.
Yeah, and that's what it's getting kind of hard not to like hate my own species, my own gender. It's
Yeah.
I mean, listen, like I leaving that Fresh and Fit thing, it's like I want to like not like those guys, but it's like fuck, dude. Like if I were doing this on a regular basis, like
why don't you want to like Myron and Walter? I get a lot of shit because I support so many different male content creators because I look at the good that they're doing and where it fits in the puzzle of going in the right fucking direction. Like I'm a big fan of Myron and Walter.
you have to remember where I come from, right? So they even if like me, right? I'm not one of those, and they still like couldn't. I mean, they didn't really fuck with me because I knew this stuff, but but even then, like there's certain talking points that I can't say my opinion on that show because it's like, no, you're wrong, and so that's the part where I'm like, you fucking assholes. But it's their show, and I respect it, and I especially respect the hustle. But I also, this is what I also tell people too, right? I say use your discernment.
Yeah.
If men up to 25 are at the lowest rate of having intercourse than they've ever had, if the suicide rate is so high, if they're killing themselves in the most violent fucking ways, if they're the ones who are actually oppressed, and the target demographic, because I'm in marketing, their target demographic is the youth. My hope is that all these content creators, these misogynistic guys, all their target demographics, not target, but their demographics that they're getting are guys that are kids that are 6th grade and older. So what that tells me is these kids are listening, and you also have, you can look for it online. The mothers of these children, boys and girls, not just boys, but boys and girls, are literally posting things online saying, thank you, so-and-so, you helped, my kid wasn't listening to me, and they're listening to you, and they're saying that I was right. Thank you for setting them straight. Thank you for telling them financial literacy. Thank you for telling them to work hard in school. Thank you for telling them to be better at something like copywriting or something that's going to make them money. Thank you for, they're thanking these fucking misogynistic content creators. In my hope is that it's going to make them stronger, that it's going to make that generation stronger to be able to have men again. That is my hope. And so when I say I wish that I could say I didn't like them, it's because I also come from that background. So it's in my foundation that it goes against what I've been raised with, right?
Yeah.
It's going to take a while to get rid of. I'm being completely transparent and honest. Or anything. And but I even like, if you go to my TikTok, it's literally Minka Moniva. One of the very first videos when I first started coming in here, before I even went on Fresh and Fit, I even said like, this is fucked up because they don't actually have guests that can speak well and are good examples of good women. To now where I am and being on that show, they prepare the women multiple times before. They at least said it 20 times. This is live. We are going to trigger you. Our goal is to trigger you. Don't act out of pocket. This is for your benefit. If you actually do it, it's on live. Don't email us trying to say take it down. At least 20 times. Still these women still act the way that they did.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because they're fucking crazy bitches.
They're delusional. And like, I'm sitting around there, I know that I have more to offer than most of these fucking bitches. And the exceedingly high expectation of what they demand and say that they fucking deserve. Not a single one of them said less than $150,000 fucking dollars that they would. Not a single one. And there was one that said that she wouldn't take anything less than 600. And these aren't like top of the line, like bitches like we see on Instagram. These are like kind of bottom of the fucking barrel. I kind of lucked out that night that they couldn't find anything better. I was like the fucking star of the show. They kept skipping over me.
Yeah.
But like, when you go into all of that and you see how well and they take the bitches out for dinner afterwards,
Yeah.
like I would, if I were any of those, I'm surprised that they haven't had a fucking nervous meltdown and like fucking thrown a bitch out. They don't even throw them out. They just tell them to get out when they're being irate. The
Yeah.
women being irate, not the guy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's so like to have all these different experiences. Again, I come from the other side to come over here and be like, well, fuck. And seeing how they're handling it and seeing that they are actually respectful and seeing that they're like setting up the women to actually do good, but they do it all on their own.
Yep.
I'm like, dude, you guys are doing excellent work. Keep up the good work, brothers.
Yeah.
Like,
They do. I know a lot of people hate them, but
I'm like, dude.
when they go around and ask these crazy bitches if they have a degree, it's like every other one. It's like, oh, psychology. I'm like, see, they're just racking. And last time I was over there, last time I caught a live when I had nothing else to do, I super chatted them and I said hi, and they were like, oh, hey, by the way, GM. Yeah, we just got word that, I mean, this has been months, but we just got word there's a couple gender studies departments paying attention to our channel. So like there's people looking at their channel, like collecting data points as we speak about how fucked up these universities are and what the product of their education is.
I love the thing that they have, the simulator that works off of the census to like show these women what the percentages of them finding that kind of man.
Yep. It's great.
I've never seen
love
that
it.
before, and I'm like, you could see my face. I was like, ah.
Right.
I think that they're, like I said, fundamentally like at the root. I always like to look at the root of things, right? And at the root of it, I think, and I was talking
And big picture.
Big picture.
Yeah.
What I mean by it, it's big picture. All these guys that are being canceled and labeled misogynistic and all these things, they're actually helping the youth. They really are, to the point where my hope is that the work that they do continues and they're able to help with the generation that's come alive, because we have guys that like the big and even semi big guys that are like creating that content. That's just the surface level shit. When you actually like see the content that they're creating on other things, you're talking about the financial system. I saw one guy break down the video of who's actually in charge of all this shit, of like, what was it, Black I forgot the company, but it's like Black something in Canada, and the guy,
BlackRock and blah blah blah. Yeah, the men always blame the men. I then look at the women and I'm like, okay, who's extracting all these resources from these men? That's who I fucking point out, because I mean they all say it, follow the money, follow the money. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna follow to what pocket the money goes into. Wow, it's a woman. Strange.
And that's the part where it's like, but nonetheless, what I'm trying to say is that like these guys actually like are posting this shit, and they're that's what I'm excited about. That's what I'm proud of. That's what I'm like, keep going. Let's do it. Like we can't, like women, we can't, at least, I don't know. It's I would say like we can't do it, but then it's like
we have to.
Yeah, but it's I'm looking at it, I'm like, dude, if these crazy bitches are in charge, then it's like
they are in charge. We just need to keep telling the men to fire their fucking asses. They're incompetent. Anybody with any kind of studies degree, any kind of science degree, HR departments, they could be fired. All these 3-letter agency government fucking whores that work in the government, fire all those. Yeah. Don't listen to them when they threaten you. Like, you don't negotiate with emotional terrorists. Period. Fire these crazy bitches.
I might need to keep talking to you, because I'm like, fucking Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I'm like,
that's it. Fire the women. See, Kush has fired women.
I fired a woman. Good, thank you. I'm just.
Well, in corporate America, it's a little worse for a lot of the men. I primarily focus on universities because that's where the treasonous domestic terrorists are using taxpayer funding and putting young women in a lot of student debt while they brainwash them into hating men. They're literally domestic terrorists. That's why you see my little thing here. My little ticker.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
It's it's
Well, but you should feel good because you're not a crazy bitch. So you're safe in the future.
I
Because
mean,
let me put it
like,
to you
it's
this way. Hold on, let me put it to you this way, okay? Now, these crazy bitches, the only power they have really is to get one of these agencies to come after you, right?
I don't have kids.
Okay.
Should be fine.
Well, you don't have kids, but they get men, white knights, to come after you, right?
Mhm.
I mean, the ones online, nobody will really come out. No man is going to come after you in real life, really. I mean, the campus security guy and the guy from the Joint Terrorism Task Force that they had show up at my fucking house, both straight white men that already spent a great deal of time before they came to my house watching my channel. So when they showed up, the dude from the Joint Terrorism Task Force was damn sure he wasn't going to bring his partner, who's a woman, here. Apparently, he was a MGTOW guy. Didn't know MGTOW was a thing, but they were like, yeah, we don't really know why we're here. We've been watching you for a while. We don't disagree with anything that you said. Even the campus security guy was like, because I was like, will you guys come on the channel and talk? The campus security guy's like, oh yeah, as soon as I retire, I'm totally going to do that. So to send straight white men, because it's going to be predominantly those that work in the protection and sorting people out field, right?
Yeah.
They're going to send them to you to what? Sort you out?
Yeah, but I'm not I see the logic behind that. I'm more of like the crazy bitches that find out where I live and try and do some dumb shit. I even when I said it earlier today, I wasn't imagining men coming to break in my house. I was imagining the women or the gay guys.
I mean, you have a gun, right?
Yeah, but it's still they're like I don't know that I can, like I said earlier,
Yeah, it's your family stuff.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
there's me and there's my family. My family is and it would be different if I was even here. I'm in Miami right now. It's things just make more sense here than
Yeah.
over there. It's there. It's just like things don't make sense. They don't. And I already told my dad. I haven't told my mom, but I told my dad. I'm like, we need, like, I told him my plan is to, like, the whole family. We need to. They're not together, but like we're gonna need to move. It's not so that
Mhm.
that's my plan. I'm like, it's growing stupidly, obnoxiously big, but it's also for that too, because I need to be able to move them. I need to be able to know that, like, okay, I can speak frankly, I'm going to speak honestly and truthfully, and I know that my family's going to be okay. I know that, like,
Yeah.
that nothing's going to happen to them, because it's not, we also see the economical standpoint of, like, any business that's like ousted, done, especially in LA. That's what
Right.
my issue comes down to. But
Yeah.
it's not that, and and honestly, it's not even removing that. I'm not like upset thinking about that. I'm more upset. I'm like, okay, then what do I do? Just
Yeah.
it's I feel a little bit doomy right now. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
No. You have more power than these crazy bitches do. I hope you realize that.
Can you touch on that?
Yeah.
Because you
They're
said something earlier.
they're crazy.
I know, but you said that they're scared of you.
Yeah, they're fucking terrified
Why?
because they lie and they know that they're crazy. They know damn well they're fucking crazy as fuck. And they know that all the shit that they're getting away with currently, they shouldn't be. So like this one-on-one conversation, they're afraid to have it because they're liars. Oh yeah.
That's why you were like, are you I was wondering, you were like, you want to talk to me?
Yeah.
They say about, like, women's intuition.
Yeah.
I was in the chat that day. I'm like, I just subscribed because you're one of the first, not one of, you're the first woman that I've
Yeah.
ever heard like publicly speaking this way, and I didn't hear you trying to like monopolize or trying to. I didn't feel like you were trying to like one up or take advantage, and
Right.
it's. I need. It's hard being here and not because like yeah, there's the guys, but like it is. I always keep saying I'm like I don't have a dick. I do still have a stupid heart. Like I need, and
Yeah.
that's what I was like. The intuition was like, all right, I'm gonna reach out to her, but it's
But I didn't seem scary to you, right?
no,
Okay, why do you think that is fundamentally?
because you're not trying to manipulate, and you're not.
Mhm. No.
I don't feel like
No. Because you're not trying to manipulate.
oh
Fundamentally,
yeah, I don't
like you're coming to this conversation in good faith. It's as simple as that. Like you're not trying to get one over on me. You're not trying to, any of that. And I think deep down you knew I would call you out on some shit if some fuckery started happening, right?
yeah, I actually said that earlier. I was like,
know.
because you can tell a vibe when you get really good at reading people, you can like
Yep.
tell right off of the bat, right? And this was the first time that I felt like I came across a woman that I could have a transparent conversation that would call me out like one of the guys do.
Yeah.
Like I'll be straight up. Like I went on the Fresh and Fit thing, and one of them's like pissed at me that I'm not done putting up the shorts and I'm not done marketing it, and rightfully so. And it's like but I'm also still trying. I will say this: I'm still trying to. Before where I'm doing a lot was the bar keeps on raising of like I'm doing a lot, I'm exhausted, but I still keep doing it and I'm still trying and but it's going to
Yeah.
continue to take time for me to get to that level that maybe a guy that had a penis would be.
Yeah.
'Cause I can't compare it, but I'm trying.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
oh man, fuck.
No, I think you're doing great. I mean, it just says a lot that you reached out to me. There's a lot of women that reach out to me behind the scenes that are afraid to have a conversation in public because they're scared. They're cowards. They don't want to be associated with me because they see all the fucking hate that I get from these crazy bitches, and they don't want to be jumped on like that. And I'm like, that's fine. I won't mention it. I know you're there. I know you're rooting behind the scenes. I do know that what happens on my channel, because I know you watch it, I know it affects the content you create on your channel, like if you need anything, let me know. If there's a crazy bitch you need sorted out, let me know.
But that's the thing is that it's like I fundamentally like I agree with the things you're saying. Coming in here, I didn't agree with like one of them, which was the thing that you're talking about, the petition. But
repeal the 19th.
yeah, it's fun. Like coming in here, you asked me, I'm like, no, not that one. Now
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, all the way. Like so, it's
Well, have you voted before?
yeah.
Oh, okay, I've never voted.
Oh, I voted twice.
Yeah.
So, but what I'm saying is that like anyway, so I've already received just even before this, not even talking on any crazy political things, just in support of some of the things that I've seen, like the passport bros or like the black pill or the red pill. It's just speaking on these things and supporting the men. I've already gotten so much hate just on that. So
Yeah.
and that's the part where it's like I tell people, if you're like in this space or if you're doing this kind of work or if any of this kind of stuff, you have to, whatever baggage you have, you
Mhm.
have to like really work on that shit so you don't have any baggage coming into this. Because
Right.
number one, it's like the triggering points, right?
Yeah.
It's if I don't have triggers, you can't trigger me.
Exactly.
The only time I get triggered is when I'm like sleep deprived, and then I'm like, I'm tired. Like I'm like crying.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if I don't have any of those emotional stressors of things that have hurt me in the past of like bad experiences, we talked about it on my stream earlier about women holding on to these bad experiences and then they become triggers, and they're like these doom clouds that are not fun, right?
Yeah.
That's what you got to get rid of that shit if you want to actually do something. Like that's what I was talking about Jordan when I was referring to Jordan is his triggers are what like earlier my trigger is what the hurt and the injustice that's happening, fundamentally, as a woman, watching other women put down babies and children
Yeah.
is heartbreaking for me.
Yeah.
The same way for Jordan, it is for like seeing his men being mistreated.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to me, you want to call me 31, and unmarried and ugly and old. I get people calling me all sorts of things, but they don't bother me because I know who I am, right?
Right. I mean, Grandma Monkey Lips. That's fucking funny.
Everyone likes that.
I love it. I love it.
I told my little sister that, and she was like, she kind of stopped, and she's like, "I like your friends," and I'm like, "They're not really my." I don't know that I would be allowed to call them friends. I think they would get offended if I tried to call them friends.
Right.
But I like truth, and I will say this. I may feel sad about like realizing the truth, but I will say that I also feel really in my life moving forward. Every time I get a truth bomb like this, like I feel liberated. I feel like I
Yeah.
don't hide something. I feel like I'm not manipulated. I feel like I'm like, oh, all right, well, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So, and if you need anything, I 100% support you. I 100% support the work you're doing. It's not fucking, if I got this kind of hate, I cannot imagine what you're getting.
I just get a bunch of cowardly, resentful, crazy bitches thinking that they know me. Meanwhile, I point out, like Melissa Tucky, for instance, she uploaded a 41-second clip of her emotionally abusing her little son husband in training, and I called her out for it. And instead of her taking responsibility for her little insecurity, you know, and bringing her 7-year-old online to defend her honor, like a bastard factory that she fucking is, instead of being like, oh, fuck, I fucked up. Maybe I should take the words of this mother who's already raised a son, you know, maybe I should just apologize and go about my business. No, to this day, she defends the shit. Instead, she called me a fucking pedo.
Yeah,
Wait,
they keep doing that one.
You watched my playlist, right? You know the one with the grill in her mouth?
Oh, you're fucking kidding me.
That's her. Yeah. To this day, she's still remembering that little clip I made. I mean, the rest of the emotional fucking diarrhea that she should be telling a qualified therapist, she calls a debate. Like she ended it with calling me a pedo. And that crazy bitch first went after one of my friends who is a MGTOW guy from India. He was trying to have some conversation, and she started attacking him because he's not from America. Because she's one of these fucking crazy bitches trying to LARP as this traditional conservative woman. She's been literally pregnant 3 times, never been married, wears a fucking grill in her mouth, and calls herself a traditional woman, right? I'm like, you're a liar. You're a fucking liar. And why are you calling my friend a pedophile, you lying fucking cunt bag? That's a false accusation.
And that's where, and I'm glad, I really like knowing that side of you, because then you understand.
Oh yeah.
It's not easy being in here as a woman. First off, you got to go through a lot of shit, right?
Oh, yeah.
Which is fine. It's the manosphere. They're protecting it. It should be good.
Yeah.
So when you have guys that are being patient with you and they're like helping in that aspect,
oh yeah,
those are your fucking people. That's the way for me, is that like those are my people. So it's, someone made the joke the other day, like, oh, you went on Fresh and Fit. She's big time now. Get ready to say bye to Minka. I was like, no, motherfuckers. That's why I have you guys to like call me out. So I know that whenever these guys like call me out for a reason, it's always with good intention. It's always to set me straight. And it's, you know, I'm really excited. I think for the first time in my life, I only have good, real people around for the first time in my life. And
right. That's exciting.
that is something that it's like, anytime I get down on something, I have literally my whole life been like ousted for being too honest or too real or saying what I feel or anything like that. Like, I'm assuming that you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And
why are you so blunt? God, you're rude. What? Why is it rude to be honest? Who said that? Who fucking told you? Wait. Hold on. I'm going to double down for a minute because I love to do that. Who in the fuck told you being honest was rude? Yeah, you should probably go to that person and smack them because they lied to you.
And it took me my 20s to figure out that I kept picking sick people, and that being truthful and honest is what triggered them. And if they didn't grow, they attacked me, right? And I didn't know
Right.
that when you pick nothing but sick people,
Right.
you start to think like I'm fucking crazy. But I also
Right.
I was still in that anger and I still had that baggage, right?
Right.
I'm at the point where it's like I still had the anger, I still had the baggage, but
Yeah.
I wasn't in the wrong. Being honest and truthful, having dignity, doing the right thing is what we're supposed to do. And now I'm at the point where the only people that I talk to on a regular basis, like on an everyday basis,
Yeah.
even if I don't like what they're saying, even if they hurt my feelings, even if we argue, I don't have a question of are they going to dip out? Are they going to turn on me? Are they going to do all these things? That already happened. I already got rid of everybody that wasn't with me.
Yeah.
It's a really cool place to be. I've never been here before. I'm like,
Oh man.
even when shit's going not so good, I'm like, at least
Yeah.
I have that. Like I've always wanted that my entire life.
Yeah.
Plus
That's good. That's good.
my
That's
dad,
important.
my dad's a huge one.
That's important. I'm so glad you have a relationship with your dad now.
When it took both of us, like I did the whole not drinking and drugging and changed my life and continued, and my dad actually ended up doing that too. And that's why I talk about the accountability. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's shitty stuff that happens. Some of us are dealt different hands. Some people don't believe in it. From my experience, alcoholism is a real thing because I had to experience it. My dad had it, my great grandfather, everybody in our family on both sides except my mom and my uncle.
Yeah.
And to be able to like go through that and watch my dad go through, he didn't go through AA, he just stopped drinking. And it took him even longer to like take any accountability.
Yeah.
But that's why I keep saying, regardless of how a person does it, people as human beings, we have that alarm clock. We have that thing that's like, this isn't right.
Yeah.
So there's at this where I'm at in my life, I'm like, there isn't an excuse.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah, I agree with that.
I did not think this is how the conversation was going to go at all.
How did you think it was going to go? Tell me what your expectations were and how I failed to meet them.
So no, you didn't fail to meet them. You exceeded them.
Oh.
I thought that this was just going to be a regular like YouTube conversation where we talk about the different pills or the different sectors or what they all mean, what your place.
Oh yeah, I don't care about any of that shit.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
Right.
I mean, like I've tried not cursing, but like you've made
Right.
it really hard. Like these are like
I'm a bad influence. You should hear Marie when me and Marie have conversation. You will not hear one curse word out of her mouth ever. So when I talk to her, I feel like I might overcompensate for the cursing that I feel that she wants to do but won't because she has that much discipline.
I hopefully I learned from Marie because I really tried. I've been working on that a lot. I've been working on it a lot. I don't like how I sound. Hearing myself later, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
But it's like I said, I didn't think, I thought this was gonna be like just like mellow, and it's just very like I didn't know I could be I didn't know I was gonna wake up even more. I keep thinking like this is it, and then boom, there's another thing, and boom, there's another thing. I'm like, wow, this is why
Yeah.
when people go down rabbit holes, they used to go crazy. Luckily, I feel like there's more people trying to be aware and wanting to know the truth. But it's what do you do with it afterwards? And I guess I'm gonna have to figure that out too. It's
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you need anything, let me know. And Contriver's backstage. I have a handful of people that have access to my StreamYard because I try to encourage any of these fucking people to stream while I'm not streaming.
Mhm.
Also, there's times where there's a whole bunch of people that'll join the panel, and I'll just fuck off, and they just close it down.
Mhm.
And I don't know. He's up here for some reason. I don't know what he wants. What do you want, Contriver? I think I've completely exhausted her. She actually had a stream before this, so
That's
do you have
I'm good for it if it's your show, so I'm good if you want someone to come up.
Well, Contriver, I'm gonna add you. What is that avatar? That's a new one. Hold on, is that like Oh, I thought it was like a manly Little Mermaid.
It is. It's a manly mermaid with a sword.
No, it is a trident.
It's Poseidon. Is it
Yeah.
Trident.
a ginger
It is
Poseidon?
from it is from the Chinese comics that I'm actually reading right now. They call
Ah.
it manhua, not manga. Manga is Japanese.
Yeah.
Manhwa is Korean. That is for solo leveling fans. And this is the ancient warrior of China, Lu Bao.
Hmm.
So, what if in an alternate reality he regresses back to and corrects the thing that he did? Actually, he was a very brave warrior. I mean,
Hmm.
he predates around 300 to 400 BC. I mean, I didn't want to ruin the flow of the conversation. That is why I said, okay, I'll be backstage, by the way. Meanwhile, I was, getting my breakfast and lunch or whatever. Actually, my friend had a, family court case regarding his divorce proceedings today. So I
Hmm.
went over there. So that is why I said that I would not be able to join you for this one. But
Hmm.
eventually, what happened was the case got adjourned.
Okay.
So I had plenty of time. I came back.
So what's up, Contrivor? Do you have a question? How was
Sorry. Not
Contriver, by the
premeditating on
way?
anything.
Contriver's the one that Melissan Tucky didn't like in her little sex cult PUA circle jerk petting zoo. So she gave him some false allegations and turned a bunch of other dudes against him, and you know what crazy bitches like to do.
Yeah.
Got in the way of fucking progress, in my opinion. So
Well, hello, by the way, fellow interlocutors, and sorry for ruining the flow of your conversations. Uh, I just wanted to, a couple of quick points that I wanted to mention. That I mean, if I could refer to your name, madam. I
Minka?
mean, pardon?
or Grandma Monkey Lips. I fucking love that. I'm sorry.
No, it's don't be sorry. It's like the golden, like honestly, like if anybody ever wanted to say, no, this bitch is full of shit, all I gotta do is say how they named me that and say you can't make this up. Like that's like a
Right.
like fuck you.
Well,
I
let
mean
us just
because
say,
because you those aren't natural, right? They're altered.
Yeah.
You're not factory original, right?
No, so
Okay.
here's the thing, like I already had big lips, but then I like got them injected and that
Right.
was maybe like a year ago or so. So
Yeah.
eventually we're gonna go back to normal, but until then, no.
I love it. It's funny as hell.
That's what makes it fucking hilarious. Is it
Yeah.
like it's it's they never cease to amaze me on their creativity and
Yeah.
like you gotta like the cool thing too is that like you gotta like really appreciate the creativity and the kind of people that are on here. I've met some of the most smartest people that it's
Mm.
just like I can't even comprehend the conversation that you guys are having sometimes. One of the guys, he's always using big word like to me like very big words where I'm like, hold on, let me go get a dictionary, and then I look up the word, and then he says another thing. I'm like, hold on, let me go. It's like an ongoing me learning a lot.
This one right here.
Same, yep. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, go for it, Contriver. I'm gonna pee again if you don't mind.
Go for it. I'll be here.
Contriver.
So what's your
okay. So a couple of quick points. I mean, nothing too serious actually.
that's
No
okay.
question, just
Uh,
points.
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Okay.
Not questions. I actually wanted to know the reason why you thought that, repealing the 19th would not be a good thing.
Well, the only thing that I thought about was the idea of like women not voting. You have to understand like where I come from it thinking women are normal human beings. Um, it's like when we had like the whole versus Wade, I don't disagree about not like, I think that like abortions are way too liberal. Way you don't, they don't talk to women about the ramifications, how they're going to feel, like not even just like on a physical standpoint, but also on an emotional standpoint, right? And so I do have a lot of issues with those, but when it comes to something like the incest or the rape, or if a child came from that, that is like adding insult to injury in a way of that. And so when you have a law that passes where like women can't even seek help in those situations, it's like I see an issue with that. That was pretty much it. It's like at what point, like, my fear would be, are women just going to be completely like, is it going to go on the other side of the pendulum again too, where it's like women are just completely taking it with no rights and get back in the kitchen and be a dumb bitch? That's where I was like, wait a second, but like, again, like like, I like to look at things as a whole, and it's, if this is what we get when women are allowed to vote, then I'm just like, I don't know what's right. And I mean, I know what's, but at least I know what's wrong.
Sorry. I'm having a sore throat, so that is why I'm coughing a lot.
That's
Uh,
okay. I understand.
but the thing is, if you would consider this, uh, let us go back to 2000 years ago. There was a thing called the Roman Empire, and within that Roman Empire, women used to abort their own children naturally, by the way, without any abortion, without any contraceptive pills, and they became too much hedonistic. Women, actually, not men per se, women became too much hedonistic, so much so that the Roman Republic had a negative birth rate, which eventually led to Roman Republic disintegrating because uh, Aristotle, who was the, shall we say, a Greek philosopher, he used to say masculine republics give way to feminine democracies, and feminine democracies give way to tyranny. The whole notion of hard times create strong men create good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. This cyclical motion of what other people, someone wrote in a book called A Savage Order, in which he said that there is civilization, destruction, and then re civilization. So these sort of things actually happen.
Right.
In that regard, if you connect philosophy into it, uh,
Motherfucker. Oh, that makes such a valid point. God damn it. I feel like I just. Oh man, if
think
that.
I think I've already thought about the dots you already just connected.
Yeah, sorry. It's.
I know. Y-
the thing, the thing.
I know I'm
uh,
smart enough to figure shit out, but like,
y-
God.
It helps to have lovely, patient gentlemen as sounding boards that will take the time to explain some things, you know?
My last leg to stand on.
It's okay. It's okay. I will say it, and this is my own opinion. I am tired of sacrificing the many for the few. If we live in a binary culture where it's, one or the other. I pick sacrificing the few for the many. Plus, with technology nowadays, that number would be a lot fewer. So
Can I cry now? Because like I feel
no, no, you can't. Here, here. There you
oh
go.
my god, no, I'm not really gonna cry. This is
Oh.
actually funny. This is at least like
Hmm.
it is it's like a mind fuck that I'm just going through, and I just like the
I
last
know.
leg that I
I know.
literally the last leg that I had to stand on is completely null and void when looking in the grand scheme of things in the society that we're in and the detrimental speed and the rate that we're going, not just like into the as you said, the feminine democracy, but into the goddamn tyranny. It's just
Mm-hmm. Mm. We've already been there for a while, though.
which is why I said we're already leaving that and go like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So no, but here is the thing. Please kindly hear me out because
I'm
that
sorry.
is the no,
You
no, no. It's fine. It's
caused the
fine.
light
It's fine.
bulb to go off at
Uh,
an exceeding rate that I was just shocked.
Hey, listen. I have been in the red pill rage for 7 years. 7 freaking years. Multiply that by 365. What you were having, multiply that by 365 every single day for 7 years.
Yeah.
Many men have been there. Many men have deleted themselves from the society because of this. Because there is a loss of identity. What you are going through right now is also a loss of identity. Who am I? What am I here for? I mean, what do I live for? I mean, is there a life worth living for? I mean, these are the emotions which men go through every time. But what the point I was trying to allude to is that the American Constitution, if you would see, which talked about the draft and then men getting the voting rights, it was actually taken the entire framework of the U.S. Constitution regarding men, only men. I'm not even talking about women right now. Regarding men, it was taken from the entire Roman Republic system, during which a Roman Republic, I mean, these were the days of Julius Caesar, Marcus Aurelius, and all these stalwarts of Socrates and Plato, Cato the Elder, Cicero. So these were the stalwarts who made Roman Republic as the Roman Republic. These were the hyper masculine, testosterone exuding patriarch stalwarts, which invented even philosophy, at least the Western philosophy, I shall say. In that very concept, the Roman Republic, and just like the Spartans as well, the Romans had a system in which a boy would get enlisted into the Roman military school, and then till the age of 35, because average age at that point in time used to be around 35 to 40 or something for most men. I mean, if someone is a very old gentleman, I mean, 60 was compared as 80 or 90 in our days. They used to go through a hard tutelage in the Roman legions, military school. They were recruited as infantry or cavalry in the Roman legion. They used to fight in wars. And when they used to come back with all their limbs and libido intact, then and only then they were given the voting rights to vote in the Roman Republic in the Senate. That is where you see all the remnants of the Roman Republic, the disintegrated, fallen structures of the buildings of the Senate over there in Italy or somewhere, where you go over there and visit all those archaeological sites. And after that, the state used to issue him a wife, or if he loved anybody, then he used to approach, a nobility or a sovereign or a landowner or something, where he would get a wife. So this was the system for men. Now, what has happened in the advent of 1919 and the suffragettes bombing the bridges and hurting civilization is that women have not fought in the trenches with their intestines coming out and being gutted with naked bayonets in the First and the Second World War. They literally not got their testicles and limbs blown up while, getting blown up by mortar shells incoming, or the barrage of rocket launchers or artillery coming in. They have always been mollycoddled and protected. Even Titanic, which is supposed to be a romantic movie, in that case as well, women and children first. Why? Because a woman, even though she might be a totally illiterate, educated woman who does not understand A for apple and B for ball, she would be able to give birth to the next generation of humanity. That is why, since you have read Quran and all that, in every culture, which is the same in Buddhism as well, people think that Buddhism is all about liberating this, that, and the other. I mean, it is highly patriarchal, which people don't know, by the way.
Yeah.
Since they just want to flaunt it that they are somewhat different from Christianity, living in a Christian nation, that is why they do it. And mostly women, by the way, I'm sorry to say. Uh, in that culture, women have totally bypassed. So, coming back to the voting rights, in that culture, women have totally bypassed the process of getting authority without having any responsibility of voting rights, because look how hard it is for a man to get his voting rights. I mean, if he does not sign up for the draft as an able-bodied man, then he's supposed to not get a waiver regarding his voting rights, and he has to spend how many days in jail or whatever. That is the basic premise of the draft itself. How did women get it? Via activism. That is what Susan B. Anthony and other women actually say. Educate, organize, agitate. That is the funda of most of these feminists, that they have been using a man's own masculine nature against him, just like putting an axe on your own feet. That is the thing. I'm just saying.
I'm
I
just
have
saying.
done.
He goes, I'm just saying, can you also drop the mic when you need
No, no,
No,
there
he
is a
does
lot
many
more to
mic
come.
drop. Ah. Can
There
you
is a lot more. Yeah.
Dude.
can you handle it?
Just,
I know she's already.
Oh, you don't have to prove. I mean, it's just. I mean, I would like
so,
to come. I would like to. I will say this: it's about to be 2 in the morning here, so
I
I think I'm
know.
gonna sleep. But I would, if it's okay, I would like to come back because your level of intelligence and like proving with facts and history and is like,
Well, but or you can always invite Contriver on. I'm sure he
oh
wouldn't
yeah,
mind
I'm
having a one-on-one. You could pick his brain if he has the time.
well,
He
it's like I'm not like I think I'm relatively decently smart, but like when it comes to this stuff, I try to take in the information because then that's what I utilize when I'm talking to other women because
yeah.
it's I just have to reformulate it in a better way that they can understand. Because even with me, I
Yeah,
like you saw me
you
like
have to dumb it down. You have to dumb it down for the developmentally retarded. I get it.
it's just even with me like you saw I don't know if you saw me off camera. I'm like I had
Yeah, yeah,
this to
yeah,
like follow and only focus on that. And it's like, but
yeah,
when I did, it's like it's
yeah. I know.
that's
And this will be up there. You can revisit it, and I know it's late.
It's
I know
just
it's late for you.
like this is a lot of information, but it's not this. There's no what I always harp on is like when I'm listening to all of these points and topics and whoever it is, it's I'm listening to facts and not feelings because while feelings are amazing and it makes us human and I believe in humanity and all that stuff, it's when we're talking on these things, we do have to focus on the facts. We do have to focus on proving. We do have to focus on hypotheses and theories and we're in a time and place where it's like we are essentially repeating history, but the way that you're explaining it and the detail which you're giving as examples is like
Yeah,
I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like,
yeah,
Hey, this is MGTOW knowledge, by the way.
yeah.
I didn't know that's what this was. I understand I didn't understand MGTOW because I mean, like, I had heard of the three penance and I understood it, and logically it makes sense the way the way that the court systems are and what I've seen, and especially all the stories that I've heard of all these different men. But like now, fun like at its foundation, it's like, oh, okay. I mean, even
Oh shit!
it's not safe.
For men, I know.
Like it's not. It's I'm sure now it's like I don't know if it is this way or not, but like it, I have a feeling that it's not that men don't want women and hate. I mean, maybe they do because experiences, but like
Nah.
not
Even the most woman hating men still biologically aren't
right.
capable of hating women. It's it's not in their nature. That's why women have gotten away with what they have for so damn long.
And that's what I mean is that like realizing that and understanding that on a like biological, you cannot argue with this standpoint, and they are
Yeah.
choosing to go their own way, and they are adamant about the three penance, including like the cohabitating and the not. I mean, even the having children part didn't make sense to me. Where now it makes fucking sense to me, and it's like that's like when you have to go to that extreme to protect yourself. It just
Oh yeah. MGTOW is a result of feminism. It's a natural human response to fucking abuse. I mean, what do they say in the narcissistic abuse community? No contact. Get the fuck away from your abuser, right? Yeah. But they're demonized by the feminists.
now it makes. I didn't understand it before, and now it makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck those crazy bitches. Oh, by the way, some good news. There's some of our people have been trolling Ash Thought while we've been busy.
What do you mean?
Some people that we know, some MGTOW gents have been over at Ashley's fucking calling her out on her bullshit. I don't know. I
Oh,
get a
shit.
oh yeah, no.
Hey.
Oh yeah.
I'm just glad that she's gonna be like that fucking bitch. She's
Oh yeah, fuck her. Well, when you told me that she was coming after me, I was like, oh, is that what she thinks she's doing?
yeah.
That's funny because that's what all the crazy bitches think, that they can come after me, and it's weird.
And that's the funny part because a lot of the guys were asking me, like, are you going to be okay? Because maybe she's going to use the information you told her. I'm like, first of all, half the things I told her were lies. Like, I told her the guys had
Right.
me because she gives her news out to everybody.
Right.
And the other half is true, but there's nothing, I don't hide my past. I don't hide who I am because I think that that's, like we said earlier, you are as sick as your secrets.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
There's just some like fucked up shit that you did to me.
I'm sorry. It's psychedelic, isn't it? I've heard that it's psychedelic experience.
Don't be sorry. You're doing good work.
Well, so are you.
This
And
cannot.
I appreciate you not being a cowardly, crazy bitch. I appreciate that about you.
I don't know how to feel about that. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have gone. I'm just kidding.
No, you're good. You're on the right track.
Oh man,
I hope you enjoy my support of your future endeavors. If there's any
I would,
crazy bitchery that needs to be sorted out, let me know.
including if you could call me out, because that's one of the things that it's like I really am adamant about. Because I'm a human being, I'm a girl. I'm gonna be like, there's gonna be things where I'm like confused about, and there's only people that I respect that like I believe they're gonna call me out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Well, if I see you lie, I'll call you out.
okay, cool. Thanks. That's all.
Yeah. If I see any crazy bitchery infection, because I'm sure you'll be messing with some crazy bitches at some point, and it's infectious. So if I see any, that's kind of something we have with the women that I involve myself with. We hold each other accountable. Like we all make kind of a pact that if we see any crazy bitchery happening, like because we're in the dirt, we're in the fucking mud with the pigs. So me the most. I deal with these crazy bitches the most. So I'm like, okay, if you see any crazy bitchery, let me know where I fucking got it on me because the shit is contagious. Yes, Contriver?
Could you play this video?
What is it? My brain is kind of spent personally, and it's too.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm your wingman.
Okay. Can we save it for the future?
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
There is. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
We shall do it later.
Here, I'm gonna copy it. Do you want me to not watch it and watch it when I see you again?
Well, the my channel is adjacent to Good Mother's, one of Good Mother's subsidiaries. That is why she is considered as Good Mother.
Yeah.
My channel is a teeny tiny channel, and it actually it actually has a MGTOW documentary made by one of the stalwarts like Barbarossa, Spetsnaz, and Stardust. Stardust still makes content about MGTOW philosophy in general, and this is not even the starting point. So I think you would be much more, mesmerized by the knowledge you shall be getting about male and female nature relationships just by reading one book, ironically written by a woman called The Manipulated Man. It is written by a female doctor who goes by the name Esther Villar. Esthervillar. She is of German origin, Argentinian origin, and she wrote this book. I think that I'm just paraphrasing about female nature in general from the one of the excerpts of her book. When a woman says to a man, "I love you," what exactly she is saying is that you are actually a good workhorse.
Wow.
So there is a lot more to on this very particular philosophy to analyze about. But we are here. We shall be here. I mean, there are more of the people alongside me. I'm nobody, so people would be there to. Okay, butthole. Now get out of here.
Did you say butthole?
So
Yeah.
I was looking up the book and then I was laughing because you said she was Argentine, and then I'm Argentine, but there's a lot of Germans that went to Argentina because they were Nazi sympathizers. So then I was finding the book and hearing what you said. I found it, by the way.
yeah, just read it. I mean, it is available on YouTube as well as a free audiobook. So when you would listen to it completely,
I
uh,
just I read
she
the part.
actually gave the trade secrets of women, and she was hated by women. She was jumped on by many women, and back in the 70s, she wrote this book alongside many other books.
That's nuts.
No, it wasn't me, Outlaw. I burped a little bit. Anyways, just let me know if you need anything, and that's it.
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Contriver.
Alrighty.
You want to call it a night? I know it's late for you.
Yeah. Just any argument I had went out the window.
That's all right.
No, it's been.
Come up with better ones.
No, it's truth, and then it's not truth. It's there. That's the truth. It's
Yeah.
yeah. It's like I said. It's like that. You look and you compare it to like grand scheme of things and where we are, and it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to watch maybe an uplifting clip that might make you feel better? I got a I got a clip sent to me from Ashthos channel. I haven't seen it yet.
yeah.
We got to find out how to open this here. Okay. Oh, Oki's over there. Oh.
What happened?
Oh, something else. Hold on, let's see. Copy. Uh-oh.
And been like, yo, we all started looking for him, and since collectively the internet, we all started looking for him. We actually found actually.
No. Actually, I'm sorry. This comment here, Crispy. Simon is cool as shit. Simon, Guybro, and Sarah had a very long chat behind streams going all through the history of prostitutes and English people, black people, etc. That guy is based as fuck. He's cool as fuck. I have nothing ever bad to say about him. He's very cool dude.
Yeah, cool. And also,
He-
you want to know what happened to Undead Chronic?
Yeah, that's Oki.
Yeah, what
Here we
happened
go.
with that? I don't know.
So you know who Black v Silver is?
Yeah, I
we
do.
know
Yeah,
Black v. Silver.
I like
We
Black
love
v.
Black v.
Silver. I
Silver.
like him. Yeah,
Okay,
he's
so-
cool as shit.
Okay,
I
so
think.
he has a video
I
conflict.
don't want anything bad said about him on here because I really do like the dude.
So
I'm just saying.
yeah, so he has a video where he basically found the video where this guy got a live screen recording of Undead Chronic talking his basically Fed posting, and then he used that and then other footage to basically make a video about Undead Chronic. So what happened was Undead Chronic did his Fed post about shooting up PayPal, and then someone else did a screen recording of his Discord message saying, "Oh, the feds came to my door, so now I gotta go until further notice." Basically.
Really?
Yeah. And then
Wow.
about 4 weeks later, he showed up on a Hammerhand stream talking about how, he lost his job, they called his work, he's like, taking a trip around the country on his supposed motorcycle.
Yeah.
And then his videos start popping up again, right? But they have all the old upload dates and all
Yeah.
the old view counts. So he just made them private or unlisted or private, whatever, and then made them public again. They weren't re-uploads. So
What?
so nothing. Yeah, so go to his channel right now and you'll see they're all the same. It's all the same list, right? All the same old dates, and so nothing happened. He himself made his videos private and then brought them back and make it look like he went away or whatever. And his Discord was never taken down. He just whatever. I don't know how you make a Discord private or some shit,
Right.
but it never it never went down.
Oh, I've been banned from some Discords lately. So, whatevs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've all been banned from Discord.
But so
Yours?
make that
Yeah, whenever you start speaking the truth and they don't like it, they just ban you from their Discord.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
Discord,
They always keep
Uh-huh.
one douchebag
Yeah.
mod in there to fucking ban all the real shit.
yeah. I
Mm.
mean,
Mm-hmm.
you should get off all social media anyway. You should get off Facebook, get off Twitter, all this stuff, because they're all, the federales, the apparatchik, are going to use them
Apparatchik.
to decide your social credit score in the near future anyway. So you should get off all of it anyway while you still can.
I can't listen to him anymore. Well, him and Guybro looks like have some roasting coming headed their way. So I don't fuck with the dudes stuff. I figure the dudes will sort each other out. This Ash thought that was mine. I'm gonna add her to my list.
Yeah, I don't.
Right, JR? Like he's talking shit about the warband, so this will be funny.
I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at the chat once since we started, and then I came and I looked at it, and they're like, "Fuck yeah, we traumatized another one." I'm like, "Yeah, guys, you did, 100%."
Oh, did they say that?
Yeah, but it's in a good way of like waking.
Oh yeah.
Not a bad way. It's like, oh shit. It's because it's traumatizing to realize everything that you've been thinking your whole life is real and it's not, and it's that you thought you were smart and you were
Yeah.
definitely
Fed a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah, it's
See, and I don't know what it's like to grow up with the feminist indoctrination being shoved down my throat. Like I've never. Yeah. Maybe we can touch on that next time.
yeah. Next time I'll have some time under my belt of processing all this.
Yeah, no, it's gonna take. And if you have any questions, let me know.
I mean, it's gonna be interesting when I go back home because it's like I said, the first time that I woke up, it was bad.
Yeah.
And then the second time, it's bad. And then the third time, it's Jesus, what else is next? And it's, I mean, I guess it's really, I always when I look at things sorry, I can't even make sense at this point. I will say this, whenever I think that something's completely breaking, it's just breaking differently to be rebuilt. So that's a good thing. I mean, I think this is the last shred of oh, but it's not all that way. And it's wow, it's it's just when I with Black, it's now I comprehend why we look at the truth, the entire truth, and nothing but the truth. And it's adapting because of the reality changing, and it's not the same as it was in the 60s or 70s.
Right. It's
And-
consistently and progressively getting worse for men. So
Yeah.
they've had to adapt in order just to survive.
Yeah, and it's the same thing here where it's God, the fucking level of adapting had to go to this extreme, and it all does make sense because it's,
Oh yeah. For men to completely walk away from women. It's completely against their fucking nature. Yeah. No. Yeah. And then the feminists want to fucking further abuse them for it and call them domestic terrorists and shit. Yeah, no, they're the domestic terrorists. They're the reason the men are going their own way. So, fuck these crazy bitches. They will be held accountable for their crimes against humanity because it's fucking criminal. It's absolutely criminal. What?
You know what I always think about? Because again, I can't this has been very serious, so I have to end it on a funny note. It's my brain imagines random shit, and it's if I was debating a feminist and she started crying and calling me a woman hater, I would just start crying and be I'm so confused. When they spaz out when someone else cries, they're fuck, I was gonna do that.
Right. Oh, start crying before they do. Steal their thunder. Yes. Well, good luck. Hey, if you can get a feminist to debate you, you win. I can't fucking do it. All the crazy bitches that want to debate me are just crazy bitches, and it's not even a proper debate. It's
Oh, you mean like an actual proper debate? Someone that does a debate that doesn't like
yeah.
Well, actually, I have one that wants to debate, but it's a guy.
Really? Well, see, no, it's gonna be a woman.
No, I know. It doesn't. It's
Yeah.
And he actually he asked me to collaborate. And I'm like, I can't collaborate with you. Like, I don't agree with anything you say. And like,
Who is it? Or you don't have to tell me. You don't have to tell me.
Because
Yeah.
it's. I'll say this. I told him the truth, and I was like, and I wouldn't hold back. And he said, I'm down. So it's kind of like,
Is he a masochist though? Male feminists are the most perverted people we have in our society. So he might want the punishment.
I think it's more of a mama's thing.
Oh, okay.
That's why it's a little. I feel like if it was someone that was, I'm a feminist and confident in all these things, it would be a little bit different. I'd be like, oh, it's so. But when it's something like that, and I understand and I can see it, it's like, it's almost as if I feel like I would be. I don't know if this is a stupid thing of me or a female thing where it's like I do see some fuckery, and then it's like I don't want to. I feel like someone else needs to call out. Another person needs to help hold them accountable or show them a way or whatever. Because I always feel like when it's someone that sensitive that doesn't have the strong masculine stand up,
yeah, the men need to sort the men out.
It's like it can quickly go into a dark, depressive thing, and I don't want to be. Yeah, so that's why I don't. It's I'm just. Yeah, I'm just you.
Well, let's end this. I think we did a good job. Dude, 3.5 hours after you just did an over 2-hour live stream. That's a lot of energy.
I will be going to sleep after this.
Okay, I'm gonna end this. Let's thank the chat.
Thank you, chat, so much. I really appreciate.
Good to see. Oh, hold on. Let me drop your channel. Right here. Here is BB's channel. Everybody go support her. If you see any of our crazy bitch, you might want to wrench up some of these people in case you see them over there. They know who all the crazy bitches are, and they'll fucking snipe them. Especially JR, man. JR, he's really good.
Same butthole.
No, a lot of these guys.
Yeah, if they could just if they do come and then just say GM to let me know.
Well,
I don't know.
I will look. I'll make your next couple live streams because there are some crazy bitches that love to impersonate the wrenches here. So I will look at their channel. Yeah, no, they're fucking nuts.
I want to be cool and have a fan club like you.
Well, I will look at their profile and make sure it's the real them, because then you'll know it's the real them.
You legit have a whole organized fan club about you.
Oh yeah, it's been over a year in the making. I have a list of crazy bitches that have been actively trying to destroy my reputation. So, oh no, they're psychotic fucking cunts. Big time. Big time. No, you don't want these crazy bitches. They'll be at your channel though, because you came here.
No, I'm gonna come. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yes, Lord Jeremy.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Everybody in the chat, thanks for coming. And
thank you, everybody.
I might start a post one after this. We'll see. Thank you guys for being here. And Contriver's still backstage.